Hey, what's going on? It's JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia, coming live from Bangkok, Thailand. I've got a special guest today, Will from Will Travelz. He's in Da Nang, Vietnam. I know he's on stage right now. I'm going to bring you on in just a little bit. We'll wait till we get a few more people on board before we bring you on. But yeah, this is going to be fun. I think I might make a habit of doing special guests every week. I had Gio in the Philippines last week and Will this week. And next week, I'll actually be in Da Nang, Vietnam. So maybe Will and I can have breakfast together when we do the live stream. If he's up for it, we'll see. We bring Fluffy along too, his girlfriend, his Filipina girlfriend. If you're not familiar with Will, he basically he's been all over, but he basically lives out of Da Nang, Vietnam, and he's been there for quite a while. And he's American, and his girlfriend is Filipina, and they have a channel, and it's growing pretty good. You're going to catch me eventually, I think, probably sooner than later. He just had a meet and greet yesterday evening at Bikini Bottom, which is a restaurant in Da Nang, really good restaurant. Kind of Western style restaurant. Anyway, he was celebrating his 8,000 subscribers, and I looked, and you got like 8,600 now. So I don't know when the 8,000 hit, but that was pretty cool. So let's bring you on. Let's go ahead and add you to the stage here. Good morning, Will.
Hey, what's up, JJ?
Everything's good. It's always good here in Bangkok. So glad you could join us.
I appreciate it.
8,600 plus subscribers now, right? Did I read that right?
I did not check this morning, but I do know that I crossed 8,000. I think 3 days ago. I think it was 3 days ago.
Growing.
And I think we're almost at 8,500 or maybe 86. I haven't checked, but we had our 8,000 meetup. And I guess it's a good problem to have is that I had 8,000 on the little flyer. Hey, come out and join our 8,000. And we almost had 8,500 last night. So it was a good time. We had a bunch of people, and that was our second meetup that we did. So it was a good time.
That's awesome. Hopefully, I'll be in Da Nang in 2 days, but hopefully I'll hit my 16,000 by the time while I'm in Vietnam. I'm at 15,826 or something like that right now as of this morning.
Very nice.
Maybe I'll hit that 16,000 point while I'm in Vietnam. That'd be kind of cool.
Vietnam's the place for the milestones.
Really? We'll see. Yeah. So how's everything with you? I mean, I want to get into talking about Bangkok versus Da Nang or Thailand versus Vietnam. We'll get into that. We've got a lot of time. But how are you doing personally? How's everything going?
Basically the same. Fluffy, my girlfriend, just came back. I think basically just a week ago. So she just came back from the Philippines. She's here. Her birthday's on Tuesday, so we're gonna go to the Japanese buffet. I'm not sure if you ever been to that place, but I would definitely check it out when you're out here. Japanese buffet. But everything else is basically the same. This is almost like my second home now. I'm so used to everything, and it just doesn't feel like a quick travel trip. I've been here for almost a year and a half, well, technically 2 years if you count the 2 separate trips that I've had. So I just feel like this is my second home. So I'm just used to everything. I go to restaurants here. I go to my same restaurants. I don't even get menus anymore. They all know my menu. So basically it's my second home.
So you do the 90-day visa runs, is that right?
Yep. Every 90 days. I do. I've been doing the bus run lately.
Okay. That's the land run where you go over to Cambodia, is it?
Laos.
Quick. Oh, Laos. Okay. You go to Laos, come right back. And that's about a 12-hour trip total or something?
Yep. It's basically, it could be done sooner if they didn't have the stops, because there's a few like bathroom stops and stuff like that. But basically I leave at 6 in the morning. I'm back at 6 at nighttime.
If you can handle the 12 hours on a bus, I guess that it's probably cheaper than flying somewhere for a day. Plus they do the fast track visa stamps. Whereas if you left Vietnam, you'd have to apply online for a new e-visa, and that could take 3 to 5 business days.
at
So you're
least.
saving time there. Whereas if you had to fly out, you'd have to wait around for maybe a week, and there's expenses involved there. So yeah. So how much does that cost you to?
So for everything, they take care of everything. I like to do the 12-hour one because there actually is a 15-hour one, which is a little bit cheaper. The cheaper one's 150. The one that I do is 190, and that includes everything. That includes your Lao visa, your Vietnam visa, the transportation, and you literally don't do anything. The hardest part for me is to get up early in the morning, get on the bus. But basically, Lin Visa, they have someone on the Vietnam side and they have someone on the Lao side. So you don't have to do any paperwork or nothing. You just get on the bus and you follow the crowd. So it's pretty simple. I don't know if you mentioned it before, but they do have, for the people that don't want to do the bus, you could fly to another country and you could do the expedited same day visa back. It's about $80 extra, but you can usually get expedited and come back the same day for about $80 extra.
You can do that through Lin Visa or one of those other agents.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So does that, I mean, the $80 extra, what does that include? Does that include do you have to pay for your airline
flight?
ticket?
Yes.
It pays for that? The $80?
No, it doesn't. That's completely separate.
Oh, you have to pay for that. Okay.
You have to pay for that.
What's the difference between other than the 3 extra hours, the 15-hour and the 12-hour? Why is the 15-hour cheaper other than that you have to go 3 extra hours?
I noticed, I couldn't figure out what it was, but I actually did the slower one this time. You stop at a place for lunch for about 45 minutes. That doesn't happen on the quicker one. And then also the 2 processes. So when we get to the Vietnam border, we would give our passport to them, and it would usually only take about 5 minutes. When you do the slower one, that process takes about 45 minutes and you wait longer. And when you come back to get your entrance visa, that only took 5 minutes on the quicker one, but it took about 45 minutes. So it's basically the exit and entrance visa take about 45 minutes longer, and you stop at the lunch spot for about 45 minutes. So that's where the difference is.
I wonder why it takes longer. I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know, but it is, I guess there has to do with something about money, because the faster one is about $40 more. So it has to do with something in that regards.
Okay, so let's get into the meat of the conversation, the difference between Bangkok and Da Nang, or Thailand and Vietnam, pros and cons. And, I'll take on the Vietnam, or I'll take on the Bangkok, Thailand side, and you can do the counterpoint of Da Nang and Vietnam. But I've been to both. I stayed in Da Nang for a few months, so I kind of know a little bit about that. But I just love, Bangkok is just, it's hard to compare the 2 cities because they're so different in so many different ways. But if you like big city excitement, and the city that's got everything, Bangkok just ticks all those boxes. I mean, it's got, Thailand food. Thai food is the best ever. The street food here is amazing. It's cheap to live here. Probably not as cheap as in Da Nang, but it's still cheap. You can get the infrastructure is fantastic with the train system and all that. Easy to get around. Great live music scene here in Bangkok, which is one of the things that I really love is live music, and they've got a great scene here. In fact, last Friday I was on a rooftop of a bar and watching a band, Chocolate Cosmos, the name of the band. I put a short on my channel about it, but they are awesome. They play mostly 90s and early 2000, progressive music, but they dipped into a little Ozzy Osbourne this past Friday probably for a little tribute to Ozzy, who passed. But I don't know. I mean, I think Bangkok, or I think Da Nang might get a little boring after a while. What do you say? What say you?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, let me say I love Bangkok too. So Da Nang and Bangkok, probably as of right now, are probably my 2 favorite cities.
Same here. Absolutely.
They are different overall. let me start off saying I don't drink, I don't party. So people are like, why do you like Bangkok? It defeats the point, right? But I like so many things about Bangkok. I like the BTS, I like the malls, I like the street food, I like the parks that they have there. I love
Mhm.
lots of stuff about it. But for my lifestyle, I choose Danang because I'm a budget traveler, so it's definitely a noticeably cheaper city. Even a country overall, it's still cheaper. And then the second biggest thing is the visa situation. So the visa situation is a lot tougher for me and my girlfriend. So her passport is with the Philippines. It's a hassle for a lot of other places. And in my opinion, Thailand is trying to get everybody on visas, the retirement, the education, or the DTV. And unfortunately, I'm not 50. I can't do the retirement visa. The DTV visa has money requirements that me and my girlfriend probably couldn't meet. So the only option I would have would be the education visa. But when you break it down, the education visa is basically double the price of what a year's visa runs here in Vietnam would be. So that's kind of the part that keeps me out of Bangkok initially. But then on the other aspect, what I like about Vietnam or Da Nang specifically is kind of the stuff that Bangkok specifically doesn't have. I like that the Da Nang has the beach here. The beach is great. There's no, I don't want to say no crime, but crime is almost unheard of here. You don't see any homeless people. I think the year and a half that I've been here, I think I've finally seen one person that came up off the street and said, "Hey, can I get some money?" That doesn't exist here. I will give a slight edge to Thailand on food though. But people will get mad when I say that, but I rank it on the lowest level up to the top level, meaning Bangkok's food from the very start, like 7-Eleven's food. Then the next level is like street food. Then the next level is like mom and pops places. Then the next level is like luxury. So all those, uh, Vietnam is kind of lacking in the street food aspect of varieties. Like out here, it's banh mi's and soups basically. But I love going
Mm.
to Bangkok and getting the fried rice or the meat sticks. That isn't really a big street thing too much out here. But then I love traveling by the train out here in Vietnam, which in the Philippines and Thailand, it's not really a big thing. Train meaning going to different cities up and down the coast. And your dollar just goes way further out here, in my opinion. So those are just a few things that I really like about living here in Da Nang. It's the beach, the international airport. You're in from the airport to the beach within 15 minutes. Cost of living, 90-day visa as a tourist. Jump on the bus. Even if I wanted to, I could do $100 round trip to Kuala Lumpur, and I would have to stay in Kuala Lumpur for 3 to 5 days for the visa run, but that would be an option.
Right. Yeah, and it's cheap to fly. Like my airline ticket from Bangkok to Da Nang is $47. I
It's usually
mean,
almost always under $60 one way.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you do four visa runs a year, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so
technically you
100.
should. One guy that I know, he so you got to kind of time your visa correctly because if there's holidays and stuff, he had to do
Mhm.
5 because of the way that he lost days. But yes, in general, 4 visa runs should be the actual number.
Okay, so at $190 a run, right?
Or you could do the 150, or you can do the 150. It's up to you.
Okay, but you do the 190, so that's $760 a year. And then does Fluffy have the same? Does she do the same runs as you do, or how are the Philippines visas?
Yeah, same thing. Same thing.
Okay, so you're talking fifteen hundred
1,500.
dollars, yeah, a year. So the Thai education visa, which is something I'm going to look into when I get back from Vietnam, you have to do so the education visa, the Thai language school I'm signing up for, it's a 14-month course total.
Mm.
There's 3 levels. The first level is, I believe, 8 months. The second level is 6 months, and then the third level. So whatever. Anyway, it comes out to 14 months total. And so you have to do a visa run every 90 days, or you have to, not a visa run, I'm sorry, you have to do a visa extension every 90 days. So at 14 months, that's basically, let's see, let me do my math here. 14 divided by 3. That's about 5 visa extensions that you have to do. So 5 visa extensions at 1,900 baht, which is about $55. Does that sound right? 55? No, wait, 38. Yeah, maybe $60. So
Okay.
60 times 5, that's only $300.
I've seen, because I looked into the education visa. You might be able to tell me this. I wasn't going to go the typical route of the Thai language. I was going to look into Thai cooking. And when I looked at it, they said the visa and the 1 year of classes would cost me about $1,200 to $1,500 a year. That's at least what I looked
Right.
up.
Well, that's only the extension. The classes itself comes out to about 36,000 baht, which is about a little over $1,000.
Okay.
So, but you're getting something for that.
Yeah.
You're getting your education, or you're learning to cook Thai, or you can do Muay Thai boxing. I couldn't, too old for that. But yeah. So to me, it's like, well, I'm getting value added by taking those Thai language lessons, which, I've always wanted to learn that language anyway. So why not do it on an education visa?
Yeah.
And, I heard everything I've looked on, they've said, well, if you're over 50, you can't do an education visa. Well, every school I've talked to 3 or 4 schools, and they've all said, no problem, you can get an education visa. Now, I don't know if they've got and they're all certified with the Immigration Bureau in Thailand. So they're all legit.
Okay.
So I don't know if they've got something that they work with the immigration, whatever it is, maybe I don't want to know, but we'll find out when I get back for sure, whether it works or not. But so to me, that would be, now I don't know how much it costs to do the cooking classes. I have no idea how much that costs.
I think it was about between $1,000 and $1,200. It was in that 1,000 to 12.
And is that a full research. Is that a full year of courses?
Yeah, that's what my quick research was about 1,200. I think one of them was right around 1,000, but they were kind of in that 1,000 to $1,200, which was already double from what.
I wonder if after you finish that course, though, is if you become like maybe a certified chef or whatever, something, so you can actually work as a chef cooking Thai.
I'll do a YouTube chef channel after that.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. What you do is you do your visa runs, and then when you're in Thailand for 3 months, all you do is cook. And when you come back to Da Nang, you just eat. So you're either cooking or eating.
and do the content on the channel.
Yeah.
Double dip.
So let me ask you about Vietnam and the language. Is there in Da Nang specifically, do you have an issue? Do you have a problem? Do you speak any Vietnamese?
Yes, and I'll give it to you real
other
quick.
than
Xin
hello
Chao,
and thank you.
Xin Chao, come on, and a few other dishes. But other than that, very, very little. But luckily, it's not ever affected me here. Majority of people, especially restaurants or street carts, they all understand basic English. Chicken, sandwich, banh mi. Worst case scenario, you break out the Google Translate. Google Translate works great here. I use the microphone button on Google Translate. I respond. I hand it to them, hit the voice button. Or worst case scenario, I've had to show them a picture on my phone. Hey, these headphones, do you have these? So I've been here for, like I said, total of about 2 years, and I've been able to get along with it 100%. So the language thing has never been a problem.
Do you ever want to learn the language? I mean, is that something
Um,
you want to do?
I would. I'm just the type of person I can learn about visas, I can learn about budgets. I just couldn't learn whether it's not even about Thai or Vietnamese. I just feel like in my brain, I just don't have the ability to learn another language. You could pay me $1 million and I don't think I would be able to learn the language. But if I could just wake up one day and do it, I would love to. But I'm telling you, it's like rocket science to me to learn another language. Even these words that I know, like even people will always leave comments, you're saying it wrong, like because
Yeah.
I say like come on, and I'll get 5 messages a day. You're saying it wrong. You should not be in this city unless you know this. So I I will
Yeah,
never be able to learn it.
I get that too. I get that all the time. So let's get to the chat real quick. Here as
Mm,
promised. Thanks, Kiki and Jasmine. Appreciate you coming on. Took the bus from Hanoi to Luang Nam Ta in northwest Laos years ago. An experience to say the
hmm.
least. Interesting. Yeah. I've
Okay,
never
let me
been to
speak on the.
Hanoi.
Can I just mention that quick? I'm a person in general that I do not ever take the bus. The only bus that I take is for the visa run. Buses are a little more sketchier out here, not only in Vietnam, but in kind of Southeast Asia. I've heard a lot of bad stories about them. So I
Right.
prefer to take the train if we travel anywhere else. But that is the one and only bus that I take. So I
I'll
highly
take the bus.
recommend.
I'll take the bus if I'm going to like from Bangkok to Pattaya or Hua
Mm,
Hin. It's like a 2 hour bus ride to Pattaya, maybe 3 hours to Hua Hin. And it's cheap. It's like
yeah.
$15 to take the bus. So if there's a bunch of us going, we'll hire a car and
Mm,
just
mm,
split the cost that way. But really, it's not that big a deal.
yeah.
Just such a short trip, in my opinion. So, but so the interesting thing everybody's talking about now is the the skirmish between Thailand and Cambodia on the border
Yeah.
there, and everybody's thinking, "Oh, is it safe? Is it safe?" Yeah, it's safe. There's no way on this earth that Thailand's going to allow anything to happen to the capital in Bangkok.
Yeah.
There's no way. And the Thailand army is so much bigger and stronger than the Cambodian army. If they ever tried, it wouldn't even be close. So yeah. So there's Bangkok's super safe. It's just along that border there, especially in the
Yeah.
the southeast part of the Thailand Cambodia border. That's where the biggest skirmishes are going on. So they've closed all the borders. They've closed the border
Mhm.
completely, so you can't do those border runs to Cambodia anymore. I was planning on going to Cambodia this this coming month, but
Mm.
when this all broke out, I thought, you know what? I think I'll
Vietnam.
wait. Vietnam seems a lot more friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. It was extremely sketchy because of torrential rain. Wouldn't do it again. Yeah, when you're out in the countryside, especially on those buses
Oh yeah.
in the Philippines, it's like that too. And you're driving along, and it's basically just a 2 lane highway. It's not 4 lane or anything like that we're used to in the West. And you're in the mountains, and you're going around these curves. You just don't know.
There was a bus this week that just it wasn't in Da Nang, but it was somewhere in Vietnam. And I think it went off a cliff and 9 people died. Like
Oh my
I
god!
I always tell people try not to get on the bus as much as you can. At least those buses. Don't go on the bus at night and don't go on too long of a bus run because I hate to say it like this, but I heard that the drivers are lacking sleep. They're kind of trying to rush and beat deadlines. That's why I don't I the only bus that I'll take is that Lin Visa bus, and it's
Mm.
it's a lot better. The bus is nicer, but these other ones are a little sketchy to me. That's why I never get on these other buses.
Especially depending on where you're going and what the route is, because if you're going through a mountainous area, I would probably
Mm,
avoid taking the bus for that and
yep.
try to find another mode of transportation,
We
not
love the
being a bike.
Vietnam. We love the train out here. The train is awesome. The train is cheap. The train has AC, reclining seats, and basically the train line runs down the coast. So we can go to all our little favorite cities for 3, 5, 7, $8 one way, and it's a great
Wow,
trip.
that's neat. Yeah, I think I was on a train when I was a little baby. But I don't remember. But I would love to do a train ride. That would be a neat video to do. That would be fun. Have
Yeah,
you
I
done
love
that
the train
before?
here.
Did you do a video with your train trip?
Yep,
Yeah.
we've done it to a city called Wien Yan twice, which is kind of the Danong of 10 years ago, Dong Hoi, and we're probably going to go back down to Wien Yan next month, so we'll do another video. I even do live streams when we're on there. So the internet's great out here. We do live streams, and we actually
Yeah.
did it all the way down to Nha Trang before, so we liked it. We liked the train a lot.
Yeah, the internet's good in Vietnam and Thailand. It can be a little spotty in Philippines, or a lot
Uh,
spotty in the Philippines. Depends where you're at.
yep.
Um, so I love Da Nang. I was there from December till March. So
Mm,
I caught the worst part of
yep.
the season. I caught the wet. It was rain every day up until mid February. It rained every day. It was cold and windy. I caught a cold. I caught
Mm,
bronchitis, uh, and I didn't have a very. It wasn't that much fun actually, but I do love Da Nang, and I'm excited to get back this coming week to actually enjoy some good weather before
yep.
the rainy season starts up again in a month or so. But the thing I noticed about Da Nang was um, there seemed to be, especially toward the end of my stay there, February and into March, when the weather started getting better, a lot of backpackers, a lot
Mm,
of especially like Russian backpackers, and a lot of construction. Things are changing in Da
hmm.
Nang like daily. And the street I lived on in the An Thuong area,
Yep.
An Thuong 3, probably I would say every other building was either
Was
tore down
construction.
or being rebuilt,
Yep.
and it's like that all over. So, what you've been there? You've been going there or living there for a year and a half now.
Hmm.
What's changed for Da
Yeah.
Nang as far as everything,
Great
and
question.
is it for the better?
I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I've been coming here since 2023, basically. So 23, 24, and 25. I noticed the big switch or the change probably around September, October of last year. That's when everything, at least the the scene of the city kind of changed. This has always been a Korean tourist spot. This is like the hub, the vacation spot for the Koreans. And I noticed right around October and November, a few of the Korean buses wouldn't show up. And then almost right around Christmas time, a ton of the Koreans just disappeared because we used to have two or three Korean buses, the tour buses downstairs. They would drop off two, three buses at a time at this little restaurant. And one day they just were all gone. But the very next day, I seen a ton of Western tourists,
Hmm.
Europeans, Russians, Australians. So to me, it was like the Koreans disappeared. And then the next day, we had a lot of Western travelers. And that's basically who's making up a majority of a lot of the travelers here now.
Yeah.
But
Why do you suppose
I
that is?
I think a little bit is the Russian Ukraine situation. I think a
Mm,
lot of it is dealing with a lot of people are getting tired of the rise of cost of living in Thailand. So we're getting a lot of these guys that we're talking to, and they're saying, "Hey, we're budget backpackers. We are feeling the cost of living in Thailand," or they're on tourist visas and they're getting problems at the immigration. Like, hey, we've been doing 90-day, 60-day visa runs in Thailand, and we're getting threatened that we're not going to be allowed to come back and do another visa run at the next time. So there's that. Then there's the other thing that a lot of people will blame me. They'll blame Sammy, a couple other here. You guys are talking about Danong too much. You guys are causing so many people to come out here. So there's a combination of that kind of stuff that's
yeah.
kind of going around, I think.
I've seen a lot, even since I was there back in last December. I've seen a lot more YouTubers
Mm,
living or staying in Da Nang now, and it's almost become it's almost to a point now where I think Da Nang's going to get saturated because they're seeing all these positive things on YouTube about living in Da Nang, how cheap it is, and all that. And I blame you, Will, you and all the others. You're going to rise the you complain about the cost of living going up there, but it's because the YouTubers are talking so much about it. You're like the Chamber of Commerce there, you
Yeah,
guys. So
the
I think
ambassador.
yeah,
I have
ambassador
two
to
quick
Da
things
Nang.
about that. I got two quick points about that really quickly though. Um, I always, in the back of my mind, I think Da Nang or Vietnam's never gonna really shoot up a lot and skyrocket like a lot of these other countries because of two simple facts. One, I did mention the lack of English compared to Thailand and Philippines. You can get by here, no problem. But I think a lot of Americans, at least that's my base of watchers, are kind of nervous going to a place that doesn't speak as much English. Plus, they require a visa here. So those two things. And the other issue is there's only a 90-day issue here, 90-day visa here. So there's a lot of people that, even though I'm not worried about it, a lot of people are terrified. Like, hey, what if I rent this apartment and I go do my 90-day bus run and they don't let me back in? What happens to all my stuff? So I think those two things, the lack of English and the lack of a longer visa, is always going to keep Da Nang or Vietnam's price lower than a Thailand or a Philippines, because you can stay there for much longer or get on certain visas. Whereas here, all you have is the tourist visa.
Yeah, and I think Da Nang, from what I saw personally up front, very very transitional. People come and go, so you'll see backpackers there for a month or two, and then they're gone. But some others come in, and they're just continuing to come and go. So it's very transitional, very transient. It's a very transient location, and you don't see a lot of people like you that are just basically living there and just doing the runs every 90 days and coming back. There's a few. I mean, I had some friends down there that I'd hang out with, and they were basically doing the same thing. But the majority of the ones that are there either they're married to a Vietnamese woman, or they're on some sort of a work visa or something along those lines.
But also remember about Da Nang also is this is not like Pattaya or Bangkok. So the nightlife is not here. So I think that runs or keeps a lot of people out also, is that there's no crazy parties or women pulling you into bars here. So I think a lot of people kind of say, oh, Da Nang is boring.
There is no red light district that I'm aware of in Da Nang, like there is even in Hua Hin, which is a sleepy little beach community in southern Thailand on the bay there. They actually have a red light district or an adult district, but Da Nang has, as far as I know, Da Nang does not have anything like that. Now I'm sure you can find
the spa places,
freelancers, but nothing where it's like, oh, let's go to, whatever. Yeah, you don't have that. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it in Da Nang. But you can find some entertainment, some adult entertainment, not the red light type, but there's clubs and a lot of rooftop bars and clubs, and it's kind of cool. And you can't beat the beach. The beach is beautiful. I mean, see, Kiki says it was a 24-hour bus trip. This was in 2005. Infrastructure in Laos wasn't great back then. Laos is really beautiful, especially if you love the great outdoors. Yeah, I've never had the urge to even go to Laos, but I did date a while back when I first moved here in the Philippines. I dated my first trip to Thailand. I met a girl from Laos, and I dated her. So she was really sweet and really pretty. Lao women are beautiful. I mean, Thai women are beautiful. I mean, but this girl, she was small and petite, and just your traditional Lao, image of what the features. Yeah. Not Trang has quite a few Russians. Yeah. So does seems like they're with this war. I think a lot of people just left Russia and the Ukraine. So you see a lot of them here. Billy Johnson says, I never had a problem in Da Nang with the language. Always got by. Yeah, if you're in the touristy areas like the bars and the restaurants, most of the restaurants, they speak at least enough
Mm.
English to get by. The airport, obviously,
Yep.
some of the retail shops, they speak a little, at least enough so you
Get
can get
by.
by. But it's hard to have just a regular conversation, a back and
Oh
forth.
yeah.
And I find that here in Bangkok too. In the big areas along Sukhumvit Road or wherever, they speak pretty good English. So you really don't have a problem with the English language here. In fact, probably less of a problem here than you would in Vietnam. Um, Vietnamese language and the Thai language so tonal. That's
Hmm.
why we're always getting yelled at for not saying words the right way,
Yeah.
because it's all in the tone. I tried to.
And
There was a lady
it's
I met my first time in Thailand, or not in Thailand, in Vietnam. We were at Ho Chi Minh City, and I met a girl there, and she was trying to teach me some of the language. And every time I would try to say it exactly how she said it, and I could never get it right. It was never the right thing. So
I get it every day.
yeah, yeah.
And it's not even
Well,
the locals. It's always my YouTuber. It's always my YouTube viewers that are 8,000 miles away and they're
oh,
experts
absolutely.
on
Oh, they're
everything.
experts.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
That's all right. Every time they comment, they're paying you a little bit of money there. So they don't know it, but they are. So
Yeah.
speaking of, hit the like button if you haven't yet. Appreciate that. Um, our viewers are down a little bit because there's a couple of Philippine vloggers that are doing lives right now.
Mm.
So they started a little earlier. So I think once they drop off, maybe things will pick up here, hopefully.
Blame
But we'll keep.
Geo.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. They might leave us.
Yeah.
No, he'll actually be here. He's coming here tomorrow. So I'll see
Yeah.
him for a couple of days before I head to Vietnam. But so let's see. Tell me what else, if you're ambassador to Da Nang,
Mm.
tell me what else is special about Da Nang that you
Okay.
would encourage people to see that haven't been there before.
It's a great base point. Da Nang, you can live here. You can travel up and down the coast. There's many great cities. Cities that are technically cheaper than Da Nang. They're not going to probably offer the same amenities, or they're not going to have the beach. They're not going to have the same Western amenities. Let me put it that way. You're not going to have to worry about crime. Like if my girlfriend, if she needed to go down to the ATM machine at 1 o'clock, like she said, "Oh, I forgot, I got to go get money." I wouldn't even worry about her going downstairs to go get money out. Her, a woman downstairs by herself, first of all, and getting money, I wouldn't even worry about it. So I don't worry about the crime. The food is good. It's a great place to live. People are extremely nice. Even if they don't speak English, they're always reaching out to help you. Cost of living is low. So it checked I didn't choose Da Nang. I guess it kind of chose me because I've been to 20 countries in the world and I didn't ever say like, oh, I want to live in one spot. But it's so hard for me to leave this place because it checks off every one of my boxes. An international airport 15 minutes away, a beach, a low cost of living, low crime, great amenities, two malls here. So it's so hard to leave it. The city basically sells itself.
Yeah, you are correct. And the same thing happened to me. I'd never heard of uh, Da Nang before until I went there, and I was so blown away by the beach, how great it was, just everything about Da Nang. Just I really liked. I'll tell you one thing: they've got the best burgers I've ever had in Southeast
Mm,
Asia. The
mm,
restaurants there really know how to do a good cheeseburger,
yep.
compared to anywhere in the Philippines, even in Thailand. I will put up the burgers in pretty much any location, any restaurant in Da Nang above anywhere else I've ever been as far as how good the burgers are. Still looking for that perfect pizza though. The only pizza I really liked in Da Nang was at Motor City Pizza, the
Okay. Yeah.
Detroit style pizza. So Billy says, I also noticed Vietnamese people are so much nicer than Thai
Mm,
people. Vietnamese appreciate the expats. I think they're all nice. I've never had an issue with Thai people. The only issue I ever had with a Thai person was I'm walking on Sukhumvit 22 or 24, heading back to my condo when I was staying there before I moved here, and I had a lady boy grab my arm at a massage place, and I pulled away, and she got mad at me for pulling away, and she started cussing at me. That's the only issue I ever had with Thai people. They've always been friendly to me, and Vietnamese people are super friendly too. Everybody mistakes um, if they don't interact with you or they don't make eye contact with you, they mistake that for being rude. It's not that; it's that they're afraid to have a conversation because their
Yeah.
English isn't good. So they kind of avoid that. And I ran into that in Japan even too. Kiki says, one thing I will never do in Vietnam is go into those chai chai tunnels. Is that how you say it? Chai chai or chi chi?
I don't know how to say it, but I know those are the tunnels like that they were in the bunkers like during the war. And they're very, very small.
I got you. Right. Oh, yeah. No, that'd be crazy. Yeah. I would get a little claustrophobic, I would think.
Yeah.
So
they're very small too.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard, let's see. I think when Gio came to Vietnam, him and his wife at the time, they went into those tunnels. They went down, and it's tiny. I mean, if you ever watched Platoon, and you see, I can't think who the actor was, but he went down with his little flashlight. Went down looking for Viet Cong. That's tiny little tunnels there. That would be crazy. Let's see. I'm not sure how you pronounce this person's Loss FHC, whatever that is. I don't know. Have you been up to Con Tien? What's the weather like in and around Da Nang? Does it get cold there? I've read it can get around 45 Fahrenheit during monsoon season north of Da Nang. Yeah, so I'll let you talk about what the weather's like now, but I know when I was there in December through February, it was cold. I mean, it wouldn't get down to 45, but it would get down to 60. Yeah. But it was rainy and windy, so it felt like 45 probably. And I got a little windbreaker at the street market for like $3 or something like that. That helped a little bit, but yeah, it got cold. And I guess it's really hot there now, right?
Yeah, it's hot. It actually rained pretty good for about an hour last night while we were at our meeting. But this is unusual to have rain during this time. This is the peak. This is the summer. My girlfriend just got back from the Philippines, and she was saying, "Wow, I can't believe how hot it is. It's so much hotter than the Philippines." I was kind of surprised. But
well, it's rainy season there.
And it's rainy season there.
Rain. Yeah.
But it's always warm. It's not extremely hot compared to like most of the time that I've been in the Philippines or in Thailand. I'd say it's slightly a little cooler throughout the year, but it's still got that humidity. And basically, we've always had a monsoon or a typhoon warning, but it never ends up hitting Da Nang. It usually comes from like the Philippines, and then it branches off and it goes up towards Ho Chi Minh, or it dies. Because when I was here last year, remember there was like a big typhoon warning, and it branched off. It was supposed to hit Da Nang, but it went up and it ended up hitting Hanoi. But it never, in all the 3 years, it's never hit our way.
Yeah, I know that beach erodes away during the winter, and so they get in there and they'll section off areas, and they'll dig sand out of the ocean and just replenish the beach. They'll replant those trees. It's kind of neat how they take care of the beach there. I wish the Philippines would learn a lesson from that, because the Philippines have beautiful ocean beaches, but they just don't take care of it like they should.
There's a lot of other stuff the Philippines should take after, and the internet, the electricity issues, cost of living. So
YouTube user says, "What's your guys' advice? Live in Bangkok or Da Nang?" You know, Will's the same as me. They're my 1 and 1A cities in Southeast Asia, but they're so different. It's hard to compare the two. Bangkok's huge. It's like 12 million people in the whole metro area. And it's just, you get around by, you have great transportation to get around. You've got all the food there, all the entertainment. If you like adult entertainment, it's there, but that's not just all of Bangkok. That's like 1% of Bangkok is that adult area. The rest, you've got the beautiful temples, you've got uh, great Western food and restaurants, great bars scene, great live music, like I said, and Da Nang to me, and I'll let you talk more about it, Will. But Da Nang, it's like almost 1.5 million people population, but it doesn't feel
Yep.
like it's that big. It feels smaller because it's sectioned off in those little neighborhoods, those little districts. So it feels more community than it does like a big city. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Also, I always tell people I believe Danong is almost like two cities. You have the riverside and you have
Hmm.
this side. So
Right.
we live here on the beach. The beach is on the other side of the river, and then the river has like the malls and stuff. But you could literally live in the beach area and never have to go over to the riverside unless you wanted to go to the mall, the lot mall, the mega market. But the problem is not the problem is, but that's why you don't see this as a 1.5 million people city because
Right.
you might spend your time over here, you might spend your time over there. I almost think of it almost as two cities, so it's
Yeah.
easy to kind of not feel like it's a big city.
I feel the same way. That's exactly right. It just seems like if you're living in the beach area, you rarely go to the riverside. If you're living in the riverside, you would probably go to the beach area more often, uh, but you probably get a bike to do it. You'd
Yep.
probably have to get on a bike. But you know what? The grabs are so cheap there. It's so cheap to ride there. When I lived on Thuong 3, my place to go to get groceries or shopping was the Loti Mall. I went there
Mm.
all the time, and maybe $1.50 grab to get there. I mean, it was so cheap compared to the West or the Philippines or even here in Bangkok. It was a lot cheaper. Diane 14C, Bangkok is really known or popular place to visit in Asia for a party and doing a hangover movie style trip. How would you describe Da Nang, or how would you sell Da Nang to tourists? Yeah, first of all, and I'll let you describe Da Nang to Diane, but I would. That's not the Diane. That's not your
That
Diane, is it?
that is. She must be in the bedroom. She's probably watching the live stream. So that's her right there. I thought
Fluffy,
she was still
come
sleeping.
out and say hello. No,
Yeah.
stay on because it helps my views. um, Bangkok, yeah, I mean, it has that reputation for being that adult center, but there's so much more to Bangkok than just
Mm.
that. And if you go with an open mind and say, I want to go to see Bangkok, but not for the adult entertainment, you're going to be pleased. You're going to be
Yep.
pleasantly surprised at what it has to offer. Now, Da Nang, I'll let you go for it. You're the spokesperson, Will.
I guess I'm like the unpaid ambassador to the city. But yeah, like I said, I don't. So I'm kind of, if you guys just thought about it, I would be probably the most unlikely person to go to Bangkok because I don't drink, I don't go to clubs, I don't party, but I still love the city. Like I said, I love the parks. That's what I kind of wish there was more of in Vietnam, or at least in Ong, is the hangout parks. I wish there was a BTS here. The
Mm,
food, so like you can go. We lived in Sukhumvit. We lived right at BTS Nana. So we lived like in
right.
the heart of the place, and it was still perfect for us. Even though I don't drink or anything, it still had everything else that we like in a city.
Right. You're close to Lumpini Park. If you're in the Prompong or Asok area, if you're in the Asok area, you're close to Benjakiti Park, beautiful parks. If you're in Prompong, you're close to Benjasiri Park. I mean, these those are just three of the parks of the probably dozens all around Bangkok
Hmm.
where they've got these huge green areas with lakes and places to run and places to walk and outdoor exercise stations, and it's just so neat. That's one of the things, one of the many things I love about Bangkok is that.
The only thing
Um,
I don't like about the parks is the Komodo dragons. Those they go roaming around, and I'm
what's
scared of
funny?
those.
I went to I was doing a video and I wanted to do some B-roll, and one of the things I wanted to talk about was the Komodo dragons, or well, they're monitor lizards here. They're not
Ah,
Komodo dragons, so you're not going to get poisoned or anything or eaten
okay.
alive. But the monitor lizards in the Lumpini Park they're everywhere. So I went to Lumpini Park, and that's a trip for me because I'm way on the south end of Bangkok, and Lumpini Park is up farther toward the north end. So it probably took me an hour to get there. And I walked all over that park, and I didn't see one damn dragon, one damn lizard when I was there. It's like crap. So I ended up with my video. I ended up having to get some B-roll off of one of the Pixel websites or whatever. So
we've seen them every time. We've seen them.
I know every other time I've been there, they're everywhere. And just
in
one
the
time
park,
I'm looking.
In that park, they have the little swan boats or whatever. And I was like, oh, maybe we'll get in those. But then I looked and I seen the dragons were in the water, and I was like, never mind. There's no way I'm going in that.
Right. They'll leave you alone. They're not going to bother you. So, Kiki and Jasmine says, what is the current situation with condos in Vietnam? A few years ago, they had serious issues with oversupply. Construction companies went bankrupt and abandoned projects. Has it gotten any better? Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
Right now, Da Nang is definitely building. They are kind of the opposite of Nha Trang. Nha Trang is kind of already built. That's why there's not much construction, at least on the same level as Da Nang. Their city's been built. Da Nang wasn't much of a city beyond 8 to 10 years ago. So this city is trying to catch up. This city wasn't. I know people that came here like in 2017 or 2018, and they told me, hey, there was only 3 hotels on the main beach. So the city is definitely going through a lot of construction right now. It's trying to catch up. But here actually is the positive out of it. I believe that they're building too much, and they're going to have a issue of too many places to stay, which is going to be great for travelers because that's going to bring the price down. It might take a year or two, but I do believe the small inconvenience of these construction jobs are going to pay off for travelers in the long run. At least that's my take on it.
I think Vietnam is seeing what the Philippines went through and what Thailand is going through, where they're just build. And now they've got all these empty condos that they can't sell. And the last I heard that the Philippines was 80% empty as far as condo sales. Now that's different than rentals. The condos that are owned are still getting rented out, and the Philippines prices have gone up for those. The condos in Thailand, there seems to be more of an abundance of condos in Thailand because we're in the low season right now. So if you want to come to Thailand, you want to get a condo, you want to rent a condo, this is the perfect time to do it because we're still in low season for another couple months, probably until October. And then, so there's a lot of empty condos that are trying to get rented out. So you can probably negotiate a pretty decent price for something long-term. Plus, with the earthquake that happened at the beginning of the year, people are nervous. So a lot of these condos, especially in the high-rise area, the high-rise condos, the upper floors, they're empty. So I think you can really get a good deal. I don't have any facts to back that up, but I'm thinking that's probably something to look into. If you're, and the thing with the earthquake, that's a 1 in 100 year thing in Thailand. That never happens. Philippines, they get earthquakes daily there. You may not feel it all the time. It may be somewhere in a province where it's not in a populated area, but they get earthquakes daily in the Philippines. That's really the ring of fire in the Philippines. They get everything.
Well, I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area, so I'm used to earthquakes. We don't have typhoons. We don't have hurricanes. We have earthquakes. So earthquakes don't ever worry me.
Yeah, I mean you can't. At least I can't. You can't predict any of the weather. So why live in fear of it if it's something that's unavoidable? Just live your life, and whatever happens will happen.
Yep.
Let's see. Diane says she just woke up.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds typical for a Filipina. Sleep till 10.
Or later.
Yeah, or later, actually. Bangkok definitely has more options. Yeah. Well, it goes to reason. It's 10 times larger
Yeah.
than Da Nang, so you're going to get more options. But yeah, you're right. YouTube user says, I follow both you guys and recently visited BGC in Siargao del Sur. Do you guys follow that girl, Sarah, in Da Nang? Great content in Da Nang. I'm not familiar with Sarah. Sarah,
I
what's her
think I might have
channel
heard the
name?
name. Yeah.
What's her what is her channel name? I lived in BGC. I don't know if you were following me back then, YouTube user, but I lived in BGC for almost 3 years. I love BGC. It's great. It's very Western. I
Mm.
call it the bubble of the Philippines. You can walk anywhere in 15, 20 minutes. It's very safe. Um, a little on the high end as far as cost there in the Philippines compared to anywhere else, but still very affordable, still about a third of what you would pay for the same thing in the West. Other than some of the Western franchise restaurants like Texas Roadhouse, um, Italiani's, Olive Garden, Chili's, you're probably paying as much or maybe a little more for a steak dinner in BGC than you would in the West, just because it's so hard to get good beef in the Philippines. And I think it's because it's an island nation, so the cost of importing uh, items product is probably going to be higher.
Same thing as the beef out here. The beef is not on the same par as the USA. Also, like it is more expensive compared to chicken and beef out here, and it's slightly lower than the USA. But I will say, I'm not going to say it's bad because I do eat the beef out here, but I can definitely tell that there is much better quality beef in the USA than out here. And I just think it's just in general, the climate is just not the right climate for beef out in Southeast Asia than compared to the USA.
Yeah, it's got the good beef is all imported, whether it's from the U.S. or Australia or Brazil, wherever, but or
Yeah.
Japan. You can get some good Japanese Wagyu beef, but then you're talking a cost involved in that. So
Yep.
I like my steak dinners, but I don't eat them as much because of the cost.
Mm.
I'm very it's like, oh, once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, I'll have a steak dinner, and then after that, it's like street food for the next 3 weeks
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
up for it. Um, Kiki says, thanks for your opinion. No problem. Um, I followed you guys for a while. I rented a condo Airbnb in Uptown Parktown Suites, but like Forbes-town. Yeah, I love Forbes-town area in BGC. That's one of my favorite. That and High Street South are my favorite places. I'm not a big Uptown fan in BGC. It's to me, that seems a little too concrete jungle. It seems
Mm.
more like I don't know, like Uptown Manhattan in
Hmm.
New York. It seems like kind of a Wall Street area. There's not a lot of green there, and it just seems a little generic. Forbes-town
Mm.
has character. High Street's got character. High Street South is up and coming. That's really turning into something nice. But all my favorite places are closing down there. All the
Mm.
places I used to hang out there aren't open anymore. So I'm a little disappointed. So
That's how it usually happens.
yeah, maybe it's because I left. Then, well, he's gone, so we're not making any money now.
Mm. You
Let's
were the
see.
one keeping them in business.
Maybe, yeah. Was thinking of living in BGC, but now leaning towards back. I guess Bangkok or Da Nang. Yeah, yeah. BGC just got too small for me.
Mm.
It's a great area, but it just got too small. And a lot of my subscribers said, "Well, why don't you move somewhere else in the Philippines?" It's like, well, you know what? BGC's the best, and we've been to the best in the Philippines, in my opinion. There's no other place to really go. It would be a step back to me, at least. Some people like that. Some people like the province life, but
Mm.
I'm a city guy, so I need
I
those amenities.
I'm not a province guy. Not saying that these are provinces, but I do also like. So I've been to Manila, I've been to Makati, I've been to Cebu, Boracay, Iloilo, Dumaguete, Bacolod. I actually, if I was going to base myself out of the Philippines, I would probably base myself out of Cebu, or if not, maybe Bacolod. But I do like both of those cities. I like Cebu because it still gives you almost 80 to 90% of what Manila gives you. at a cheaper cost, less people. And I really like the city of Bacolod. I was in Iloilo, and I really liked Iloilo as well the first time. But Bacolod actually drew a lot of my interest. So I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
ever base myself out of there, but those are kind of the cities that I would like to basically
Yeah.
base myself out of if I did.
I wasn't impressed with Cebu.
Hmm.
It's big, and I think it's too big. It's going under a lot of growing pains. I think the traffic is horrible there. I wasn't impressed with, the condos there were okay, but um, just the whole area seemed like, oh, it's like a, poor man's BGC. That's how
Hmm.
I felt about Cebu. Um, and it was just the traffic was horrible. It's
Yeah.
grown too quickly for their infrastructure, I think. So I think 5-10 years from now, I think hopefully it'll get to a point where the traffic isn't as bad because the infrastructure's caught up. But you're right. I've been to all those places. I've been to Leyte. I've been to um, let's see, Tacloban and
Hmm.
Bye Bye City and Leyte. I've been to Mahaplog, which is way in the mountains, way in the that's
Hmm.
a tiny little village. Um, but I've been to all over Luzon. I've been to Bacolod, Iloilo. I love Iloilo, and it's really convenient if you like to go to a beach or take a ferry over to Gamaros Island. That's super convenient. Bacolod's nice. I like the infrastructure there is a little nicer.
Hmm.
It's got malls and it's got good restaurants. Um, but like I said, it's just not BGC. So and Dumaguete, I don't like Dumaguete. The only reason I went there is I
Hmm.
had friends that were living there. So Landers and BGC stock Irish beef, but you'll pay for it. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can get that stuff, but boy, it's
Yeah.
expensive. Yeah. Um, William in the building, ladies and
Hmm.
gentlemen. Oh, okay.
There's one of
Elvis is in
our
the building. It's one of your guys.
Yeah, he takes all the credit for all the success. He always tells me in my chat. So
Gotcha.
I guess
Okay.
he's here to collect his credit.
Let me see. What does 75 XP mean? I don't know. Where are you reading that? Where are you seeing that?
Oh, I think he's talking about in the chat. They recently started doing like the points for the chatters. There's like a competition. I don't know what YouTube started doing, but I noticed that too. Like the more people comment and stuff, the higher up their score in the chat goes. I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh, I see. They rank your chats. So
Yeah.
like Kiki and Jasmine, you're number one because you put the most chats in. So you're number one. I don't think anybody's going to catch you. And Fluffy is number two right now.
Ah, the sad thing is they don't really win anything. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
it's really for.
I think that would give the honor of giving us a super chat. That I think number one. Let's see. Diane says Landers always have 50% off sale and 70% off sale. You just have to catch it. Yeah, on some items, I think, right? Probably not on U.S. beef or Irish beef or anything like that. Maybe, I don't know. I do like SNR's pizza. That's the best pizza I've found in
Mm.
the Philippines is SNR pizza's closest thing to the Western style pizza.
Pizza is hard to find good in all of Southeast Asia. We do have a good place that I like called Gilda's out here in Danong, but pizza is a hard thing to find good pizza in
Yeah,
Southeast Asia.
it is. It really is. I tried to take your advice and do the Gildas thing, and I
Mm,
went there and I finally found it because it's not
tucked away.
the GPS, the Google map doesn't show you the exact place. So I found it, and
He was
they were closed
closed.
that day. Yeah, it was like a
That com-
Monday or something. It's like,
it's crazy.
you
That
kidding me.
that place, I love it and I rave about it, but he's just open and closed when he's on.
It's
It,
random.
he'll it's random. It's random. So I hate recommending it because sometimes people will go and say it's closed, but he treats it more as a hobby sometimes. And on a
Kind of like a
Friday in the afternoon, it will be closed.
That's how the Philippines operates, and especially in the smaller cities, the province towns. They open when and they feel like it. Somebody was telling me the other day that they were in the Philippines. They went into a repair shop, one of those mall computer repair places or phone repair places, those little kiosks.
Yeah.
And they went in to get their phone fixed, and the place was open, but they said, "Oh, sorry, sir, our repair person's on vacation. And would you like to leave your phone?"
For 2 weeks.
And they go, "Well, when's he coming back?" So we don't know. It's like, why would I leave my phone if you don't even know? And why are you even open?
That's the Philippines.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny though. Fluffster's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Fluffy is Diane. Okay, for my people that don't know, Kiki and Jasmine, that just means how active you are in the chat. It's a point system. Yeah. Hey, Elvis. YouTube user says, how often do you leave for visa renewal, and how easy is visa renewal in Vietnam? So we talked about that earlier, but go ahead and tell everybody again how easy it is.
Two options. This is how I explain it to everybody, because everyone has different priorities. If you want to do it the cheapest way and come back the same day, you do the bus. The bus is basically 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. It's $150 to $190. You leave in the morning, come back in the day. Now, if you don't want to do the bus and you kind of want to stay away for multiple days, then you do the flight option. So if you want to spend a little more money and go see Bangkok, or go spend a little money and go see Kuala Lumpur, plan on being out for at least 3 business days, maybe 5, maybe 6, assuming that everything's all correct on your visa, then you're out for 3 to 5 to 7 days. And then you fly back. So those are your 2 options. Cheapest, easiest, do the bus. More exploring, more costly, go fly out of the country. That's how the visa runs basically work in Vietnam. But they're always simple. As long as you haven't overstayed on your visa and you haven't committed any crimes here, the visa is going to be practically guaranteed, and you're not going to have any issues with coming back. So it's going to be no problem either way. Just depends on if you want to come back the same day or how much money you want to spend.
And you can do that limitless times, right?
Yeah.
They never shut you down. They never deny entry, right?
When I was just on the bus, I ran into a few guys, and they've done it for 5 years in a row. So they go in, they just come right back the same day. So there's no issues with it as of now. Now, whether it changes down the road, I don't know. But as of years prior, it's the same thing.
Kiki and Jasmine says, I like the Nivelle Hills area of Cebu. Wouldn't be a fan of Central Cebu. I don't think I've ever been there. I've been to like IT Park in that area there. And I've been to Lapu-Lapu and Mactan, Newtown, which are nice, but it's just a pain in the butt to get to the airport from Cebu to the airport, because they basically just have one road, one bridge. And they may be building a new one, or maybe have a new one now, but boy, until they do, it's going to be tough. What is the BGC equivalent in Bangkok? Pretty much any neighborhood along Sukhumvit. Even like if you're in like Prakanan, there you've got the W District, which is a neat outdoor area. If you're down to, let me see, what would be after Prakanan would be, so you got Anut, Prakanan, Ekamai. Ekamai is a nice neighborhood. Tonglo, Prompong, Asok, Nana. Then when you get past Nana, you're going up a little farther northwest, and then you hit Plonchit, and then Chitlom, and then Siam, and all those areas. Every stop is a neighborhood in itself, and those are really neat areas. So it's like there's probably, BGC in the Philippines. There's probably a couple of dozen neighborhoods that are just like BGC in Bangkok. You just have to kind of explore and look for the ones you like, because it's got everything. JJ, how often do you leave for visa renewals, and how easy for visa renewals in Vietnam? Want to travel between the two, retiring there? So you already answered the Vietnam. So right now I'm on a tourist visa, So when you come into Thailand, I got 60 days visa free, and then I renew for another 30. So you get 90 days, and you can basically leave and then come back and do that again, and you can do 180 days per calendar year. And then they'll if you try to come back beyond that, they probably will say no. They may let you in if you have a good reason. But so basically, if you want to hang out in Bangkok or Thailand on a tourist visa, you have to do two runs, and that was it. They used to be able to do more than that, but now they don't do that anymore. So 180 days max, and then they pretty much won't let you back in. So I'm going to leave. My visa expires on August 1st. I'm leaving on the 30th, and I'll fly to Da Nang, and I'm staying there for three to 4 weeks, something like that. Then I'll fly back to Thailand, and when I get back, I'll have 60 days because this will be my first coming back, first time coming back. I'll have 60 days visa free. I'll extend for another 30, and then while I've got those 90 days, I'll sign up for that Thai language classes, and then they'll apply for my education visa through them, and then I'll be good for 14 months basically. And I just have to renew that every 90 days. And then I think after the 12 months, you have to actually leave and then come back. And then you can actually leave anytime, but when you come back, you have to reestablish your education visa. You wouldn't be on the same visa. You have to get a new one basically, but they just renew it. Cebu looks old. Yeah, a lot of areas it is old, but they're working on it. They've got a couple of areas that they're working on making better. Chugsy says, so if you flood the chat with drivel, you get rewarded for that odd given all the woke rules on this platform. Not sure what
I think he's talking about the point system, but right. Maybe the AI kind of weeds it out, but who knows?
I don't think it's the content. It's more the number of times you post determines your ranking. Number 3 now. I was number 1 a few minutes ago. Who overtook you? Let me see who's number 1 now. Fluffy's still 2. I still got you number 1 on mine.
We need a recount.
Who's number 3? Number 3 is, I don't know who that is. Number 3. Oh, number 3 is YouTube user. You're number 3. So keep posting. Hit that like button. That might help.
Buy a super chat to be number 1.
There you go. Thanks, Diane. I owe you a lemonade. I'm taking you guys to is it Tintin?
Kin Kin.
Kin Kin is the Thai restaurant there in Da Nang.
I'll show you a couple of new places we found too. A little juice spot and cafe, little place. So if you have some time, we'll show you a couple of new spots that I've found recently.
I got nothing but time when I get there. I'm going to be relaxing. One of the first places I'm going is Paradise on the beach there. I'll go get my mango shakes. They have the best mango shakes there. And I'll just enjoy watching the beach, watching the ocean. Let's see. It's near Lahug area of Cebu. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I've only been to Cebu a couple of times. Wasn't impressed, so maybe I just been in the wrong places. I think they don't deny you entry because that has been prearranged by the agency. If you would encounter a problem, I think Lin Visa will handle that since you pay them. Yeah, I'm talking about Thailand. If you try to come back on your own, you could get denied. If you try to do it too many times. Yeah, if you can run through an agent, there's not going to be an issue. How long are the rental lease in Thailand and Vietnam? 12 months. So when I was in Vietnam, I did 3 months. I did a 3-month. You can find 3-month rentals here in Bangkok. It's harder. Mostly they want 6 months or 1 year, but you can find, and you'll get break points too. The longer you rent, the longer your lease is.
Out here, it's basically 3 months, but I was lucky enough in this apartment, I negotiated directly with the landlord and we had a month-to-month contract. So for a year and a half, it was, hey, at the end of the month, I'll pay you for the next month. So I was happy with that. But usually in Vietnam, it's 3 months.
That's awesome. Yeah. Chugsy says, why not just get a retirement visa? You look of age. Yeah, I am. But I want to learn the Thai language, so I might as well do it where I don't have to deposit 20 or 800,000 baht into a Thai bank account. So I can do the education visa and learn the Thai language for 14 months. And then after that, then I'll do the retirement visa. Now, if I get back here and nothing works, if I can't get the education visa, then I'll look into the retirement visa. So look, Gio's on. You must be done. Yeah, we doubled our viewers, sending viewers.
Gio was taking all of them.
Thank you, Gio. Gio's birthday, by the way. So
yeah, happy birthday, Gio.
Yeah, just ending my live. Awesome.
Thank you. Cool. So now all those guys left his channel.
Yeah, about time. Let me see. Were you living comfortably in the U.S. or was the move to Thailand, Vietnam mainly for financial reasons? Curious what motivated the change. So I'll answer that first, and then you can answer, Will. But Eddie, I moved to the Philippines for work. I was actually working for a global university, and they wanted to expand their market into Asia. So they hired me as their director of admissions for the Asia market. So I went there to I moved to the Philippines. I could have lived anywhere. And I was actually looking at 3 areas: Manila, Thailand, and Kuala Lumpur. And I picked Manila over the other 2 because at the time it was cheaper. I could find local help and pay them less, still pay them more than what their normal wages would be in the Philippines. I think I was paying them $1,000 US a month. So that's 50,000 pesos, which is about almost triple what the minimum wage is in the Philippines. So I was paying them a good salary. And the English language was good because our university was all English, had to speak English to go to school there. So those are the main reasons I moved to Bangkok. And Kuala Lumpur would have been the second choice because their English is very good there. But I wasn't real familiar with Kuala Lumpur. I was familiar with the Philippines because I've been there many times. And then Thailand was my third choice. So I picked the Philippines. And after a year, my contract ended. And I got tired of the rat race in the U.S. I got tired of working. And my salary was good. But I would have had to work until I was 70 in order to make enough money for retirement, to retire at 70. And I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the stress. I didn't want to deal with any of that anymore. So I retired. I retired early and never regretted 1 minute of it. And that was back at the beginning of 2023 is when I retired. So what's your story, Will? And I stayed here because it's cheap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely a big benefit. Multiple reasons for me. One, I'm from California, from the Bay Area, so one of the most expensive parts of the USA. So the cost of living was definitely a factor. Just the political climate, basically in the USA, especially in California, that was another reason. And it was a rat race. It was a rat race. You go work all the time to just barely break even, pay your bills. I'm from the Bay Area, one of the cheaper cities in the Bay Area, actually, Vallejo, California. I don't know how many people actually know it, but there's a lot of crime there too. So we were dealing with crime, political problems on both sides of the spectrum, and cost of living. And in 2019, I started traveling the world. I went to 15 countries just in 2019. So it was just a perfect combination. Cost of living, I already like to travel, crime, all kinds of stuff. It was just a perfect recipe. And that's basically cut me from the rat race, is basically a quick answer.
So your sole income right now is your YouTube channel. Is that right?
Yeah. So
you're not getting a pension or a retirement or anything like that. You're living off savings. and your
So when
YouTube?
I left the USA full time, 2022, um, I had 550 subscribers. So I wasn't even monetized. I just became monetized, and even to today, I don't break even on my YouTube channel. I think this month might actually finally break even, but up till now, no. So basically, YouTube kind of stops the bleeding and recoups back some of my money. But basically, I saved up 1 year of cost of living in Vietnam when I left the USA. And I said, whatever happens, happens. I don't ever recommend that to people. And I stress the one thing that you want to do when you leave the USA is you want to have consistent, guaranteed money, either retirement, a rental
Right.
property, or something like that. I didn't listen to my own advice. And I tell people not to do that, but I did it. I just got so tired of the rat race in the USA.
I would say have at least two sources of income to be
I'd
safe
say
in
have
case
as many
one
as
falls
you can.
through.
Yep.
Well, as many as you can, obviously, but a minimum of two, just in case one falls through.
Yep.
Then you got a backup. Cecil Wampler says Geo Raid. Edwin is on. Hi JJ, good to see you guys. Hi Edwin, thanks for joining. Diane overtook me temporarily. Number one again. Good for you. Geo birthday boy sent me over. I'm in
Mm.
Pattaya. How is things in Pattaya? How's the low season? Are you feeling the effects there, Phoenix? Diane says, "Wow, Geo in the Philippines sent peeps."
Hmm.
Jay says, "Was watching Geo. Didn't know Will was live. I enjoy Will's channel, and JJ subbed you tonight. We'll check you out. Check your channel out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, guys, while you're there. We got 16 likes, 37 on right now. So hit that like button." Hey, Jace. JJ ate at Wild West and BGC. While they're great people, I know you visited there. Yeah, Wild West used to be my hangout. We used to
Hmm.
watch I called it the parade, where you sit outside and it's on High Street. I don't know if you're familiar
Hmm.
with that, Will, but Wild West is a kind of a Western um, grill and bar. We sit out there and have their promo beers and watch the parade go by, which is the pretty Filipina girls walk by
Hmm.
after they get off work. And yeah, that was it was fun. Yeah,
Hmm.
I miss that place. All my friends have moved away there. I think I've got
Hmm.
one full time friend that still lives there. Um, other than that, all the others have all moved or are planning on moving. So
I think
it's
that's kind of
and
a thing. That's kind of a downside that no one really talks about. At least I don't hear as YouTubers or travelers, is that you kind of go to cities and then people constantly leave. So it's not like back in the USA, like your best friend kind of lives in your same city or area for your whole
right.
time. But a lot of people, like, you'll have a friend for maybe 6 months or a year, and then they'll move on, or you'll move on, and you kind of just
Mhm.
kind of disappear. So that's kind of one thing that I don't think too many people talk about. But you got to be able to kind of get used to people moving on, and life's
Right.
changing a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's true because it's so easy to travel in Southeast Asia, so easy and so cheap. So why be
Lockdown.
anchored down or locked down in one area when you can, like Geo, he's going to slow travel next year. So I tried that in 2023 and I didn't like it. I don't
Mm.
like living out of a suitcase. I need a home base. So Luke R says you can get month to month in many places in both countries. You just got to search around. Yeah, yeah, and you have to look around. You have to find quality. That's the important thing. He says, "Hey, Fluffy, hope all is good." Chugsy says, "Makes sense." Trying to get caught up a little bit. Zuropa84 says, "Hi, JJ. Hi, Will. The cost of living has gone up so much here in the West Coast, USA, in the last 10 years. Have you noticed cost of living going up in your travels?" I Philippines has gone up. Cost of living has gone up, but the peso in the Philippines is weakened, so it kind of offsets that. So it's
Mm.
still you still get a pretty good bang for your buck in the Philippines. The problem with the Philippines is that I think they overcharge for rentals, condo rentals, and that I think they're overpriced for the quality that you
Yep.
get. Thailand, the cost of living hasn't really gone up that much. I mean, a little bit of inflation, but the issue is the Thai baht is really strong against the dollar. And so that's just since I moved here back in October. When I moved here, it was the Thai baht was like 33.5 or something like that back in October to the dollar. Now it's 30, just over 32. So it's gone down a lot.
Wow.
So the dollar is weakened. The Thai baht is strengthened. Now in the last couple of days, the Thai baht's gone down a little bit in strength because of the conflict with Cambodia, I think. So we'll see how that plays out. But inflation's not so great, not so bad here in Thailand. It's just the Thai baht being so strong. What about in Da Nang?
So actually, so our restaurants are the same price. The grocery stores are the same price. The only thing I've noticed to go up, I really notice it, is the eggs. The eggs went up from about $1 to about $1.20, so not terribly expensive. But the only thing that I've noticed in Da Nang going up is the rental asking price for this main area. But restaurants, grocery stores, food, almost none of it has went up at all here. Very, very, very slightly, except for rental prices that people are asking for.
What's the rental situation there in Da Nang right now? Are there a lot of empty units available, or is it full? Or if you had to estimate or guess, what percentage are filled up right now? Because we're in high season there, right?
Yeah, this is the summer. This is kind of where people come. But if you look, this is kind of my gauge of how I do it. If you go out at night and you just look at these tall buildings, you'll see 50% of the lights are off at this place. And if you go by for a week in a row and the lights are off, that usually means no one's there. But I've noticed this throughout Southeast Asia, is that a lot of these landlords will ask for a certain amount. So let's just throw out a number. Let's say they want 10 million for it. And a lot of these landlords won't budge. If they don't get 10 million for it, they will let it sit for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. They're waiting for someone to come in there and overspend. And I think what's happening, especially in Da Nang, is there's a lot of first-time Westerner travelers, and they're saying, hey, man, I'm come from Miami. I come from Boston or San Francisco. It's $2,000 for a studio here back in the USA. Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna spend $1,000 in Da Nang. That's 50% off. And I think landlords are targeting those kind of guys because they can overcharge and get a lot more for the place. The landlords don't want to rent to a guy like me that knows the market value here. They're just holding out for every 3 months for some guy like that to come here and overspend. And that's what's jacking up the economy. It's not that a lot of people are coming out here. That's what the theory believes. Like a lot of these comments on my channels are like, you're sending so many people out here, it's causing it to go up. And it's not that, because if a lot of people came out here, I tell people to negotiate. I tell people the real prices. If they came out here with that, the prices wouldn't go up. The prices are going up because the guy from Miami, New York, Toronto are coming out here, and they're comparing it to USA prices. They're saying, hey, man, I'm getting a great deal. It's 50% off of what it cost in Toronto. But little did they know that studio was only $300 the month before, not $1,000.
Yeah, well, it used to be that's how the Koreans worked in the Philippines too. They would pay top dollar for everything, and I mean everything, not just condos, but adult entertainment or you name it. They'll pay top dollar, and they don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, oh, well, I'll rent from a Korean, but I won't rent from somebody that's going to try to negotiate with me. They won't do that. So yeah, it's interesting because I was going to rent my old place, but it's not available. I talked to the owner, the landlady, and she didn't have anything available till later in August. And I said, oh, I can't wait that long. I need a place. So I just got a hotel, and it was $14 a night for a really nice hotel, 50 square meter hotel room, right, like 1 block from the beach in An Thuong. So yeah, it's like you can find really good deals in Da Nang.
Yep.
Let's see. I know Vallejo. Is that right? Vallejo?
Yep, Vallejo.
I used to live in Hayward. Okay. You probably know where that is.
Yeah.
I know nothing about California other than the LAX and the San Francisco airports. It's the only places I've been to in California. 62 is a good age to retire. I'll probably semi-retire at 58. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. 15 countries on a year's wage is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. What other countries have you been to outside of Asia?
I've been to 10 countries in Asia, and I've been to 9 in Europe, and I've been to Mexico. In 2019, when I first started to travel, from April to October, I went to 9 countries in Asia, and I went to 9 countries in Europe and 6 in Asia. But this is right before the pandemic started. So actually, Europe was fairly cheap back then. I hit up all kinds of places. I hit up France, Italy, Budapest, Prague. I hit up all the places I wanted to go to, Spain, Portugal. And then I realized at that point that I wanted to travel full time. So Asia and Europe is basically the main 2 places I've been to.
Okay. Yeah. I've only been to, let me think here, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan. That's it, I think.
I've been to
I don't
all
think I've
those
been.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. Zero chance I am working at 70. Yeah. I'm right with you there. YouTube user says, I'm going to live there on 3,500 a month. Will that be good? You can live anywhere for 3,500 a month. That's a really good salary. Where is it you're planning on living? Da Nang, Bangkok,
I think all
Philippines.
those
Where?
places easily $3,500.
Oh, 3,500. Yeah. I mean, my not my budget, but my expenses is under 2,000 a month. That's excluding any travel I do. So, the traveling I'm doing to Da Nang and the staying there, that doesn't include that. But if I was just to stay here, it's less than 2,000 a month to live a really good, really decent life. Phoenix says, lowest low season I have seen in 20 years. He's in Pattaya. I've been coming here, just visited Chiang Mai and Udon Thani. Only Chiang Mai was pretty busy except for the bars. Yeah, I was in Chiang Mai last month, and it wasn't as busy as I thought it would be. But still, I was in the Nimon area, which is kind of the touristy area, kind of the backpacker area. So it wasn't bad. But you know what? I don't mind that it's not busy, because then you're not waiting in line. You've got a table waiting for you at the restaurant. You don't have to wait for your table. You're not walking through crowded sidewalks and all that. So I kind of like that. Pattaya, yeah, I've heard that lowest low season in 20 years. That's crazy. Yeah. I wonder, part of it is the Chinese aren't coming because they're a little worried about, several different things that have happened. That's where the majority of the tourism is down, is from Chinese visitors. So I don't know. We'll see. Jay says, yeah, I'm looking at Da Nang personally, but I do not know much about Bangkok. Any big differences between the two for budget travelers? Budget wise, not a big difference. I mean, it's cheaper in Da Nang overall for pretty much everything, but Bangkok, you can live on a budget easily in Bangkok. You can spend as much as you want, or you can spend as little as you want. The street food is amazing and is super cheap. Just depends what area you're in, as far as how much money you're going to spend. See, if you had the choice, would you prefer retiring comfortably in the U.S. or living a more luxurious lifestyle abroad in Thailand, Vietnam with the same budget? What do you think, Will?
I still would choose. So people say, like, if you won the lottery or you ran into some money, would you go back to the USA? I don't think I would. I just think I'm a natural traveler. I don't know if I would actually stay in one part of the world, but I might travel the whole world more often. But I don't really see myself going back to the USA for long periods of time. I don't even know when the next time, if or when I'll go back to the USA. But even if I did, I wouldn't want to be locked into the USA or almost any country. If I had that kind of money, I would just probably constantly travel or stay outside of the USA. So it's an easy question for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I had FU money, I would probably I would have Bangkok as my home base, but I would live in a really, really nice condo or a house or something. But I would travel. I would travel all over and just make this my home base. And I'd go back to the U.S. to visit my friends and family, maybe once a year. But I just love Bangkok. I love Southeast Asia. I love everything
Mm-hmm.
about it. So, JJ, what's Will's channel call? Is called Will Travelz. Let me bring that up here. Hang on just a second. Right there, Will Travelz. So just at Will Travelz, look it up on YouTube, and that's where he is. It's Travels with a Z, and
Yep.
you can
Someone
check out
took
his
it that
channel.
had, apparently there's another Will Travels, but he has the S. So, and
Well, you know what? I
I
like
don't
the
think his
Z
channel's
better
active.
anyway. I
It
like the
worked
Z
out better
better
in the long
anyway.
run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Z is kind of it's unique. It's good. I like it. So let's see. How about Chugsy says, how about Chiang Mai? BKK is too busy and denying is too quiet like Hua Hin. I prefer Pattaya Jomtien, each to their own. I like Chiang Mai. I think that's a neat city. It's like I think it's the second largest city in Thailand. Um, but I really like it. It's got that college vibe to it, college town
Mm.
vibe to it. It's got really neat coffee shops, really neat cafes and restaurants. Um, but boy, 3 months out of the year, it's the air quality gets really bad during the burning season,
Burning
January,
season. Yeah.
February into March. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. So you'd have to either stay indoors the whole time
Or leave.
or or leave. Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of
But
people come to Da Nang from burning season because we would hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I left Thailand. There's burning season," so they come to Da Nang. That's kind of crazy.
even in northern Vietnam, it gets bad. Yeah,
Mm.
depending which way the wind's blowing, I guess. They ain't cheap now. Hong Kong is fun to visit too. Food trip and shopping. I've not been to Hong Kong. I want to visit Hong Kong. I want to visit Kuala Lumpur. Those are my two top Southeast Asia destinations on my bucket list.
Mm.
Going to live in Thailand or Da Nang on that salary, I will be 56. Yeah, you can live in either place, anywhere
Easy.
in either of those places on 3,500 a month or 3,600 a month, whatever it was, with no problems at all. You can live a really good life. You'll be happy. Worth looking at Vung Tau in Vietnam as well as Da Nang. Vung Tau is very boring. Nobody speaks English there. It's a beautiful area. It's right there on the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really beautiful area, and you've got a neat like a temple or Buddha on the hill there, and the road just winds around there. It's really nice, but it's even more boring than Da Nang or Hua Hin, and nobody speaks English there. I
Mm.
didn't meet one Vietnamese that spoke any English,
Wow.
even at the restaurants or the hotels or anything. Nobody.
I got a
Now,
couple of my subscribers that really, really keep urging me to go to Vung Tau. They keep telling me to go to Vung Tau and Can Tho. So I've been to about 8 cities in total in Vietnam. And there's 2 guys that just really keep saying, like, if you go there, it's going to change your life. So it's interesting to hear that.
have you heard the news that I saw this yesterday that Vietnam is basically doged. They did the Doge thing and got rid of like over 100,000 employees, and
Mm.
they're redistricting. So instead of having like 6 districts in Ho
Oh,
Chi
yeah,
Minh or
yeah.
8 districts in Ho Chi Minh, they've combined so that it's down to like 4. And Vung
Yeah.
Tau is actually now going to be annexed into, I don't know if it's
Mm.
Pontiet or one of those other cities. So what they're basically doing is getting rid of all the local governments
Mm.
by consolidating. It's kind of
Yep.
interesting how they're doing that. I don't know
Da
how
Nang
that's
did that
gonna.
too. So I think Da
I
Nang
heard they
and
were
Hoi
planning
An,
on
they
doing it.
merged. It happened in July. So it
Oh,
happened, I
okay.
think, earlier this month.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, they're starting on the south, and they'll end up north, and Hanoi's they're gonna do that in Hanoi too, I guess. So,
Mm.
interesting. So, thanks, Chugsy. Appreciate you. Look, we got 23 likes right now and 30 on. I have put my property in Ireland up for sale. It's definitely a seller's market nowadays.
Yeah.
Nice. Where in Ireland is your property, Kiki? Interested to know. That's on my bucket list. I want to visit Ireland. Never been there. That Z is definitely stylish. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
From a guy
It adds
whose
character.
channel has a Z on it, like Zorro. Edwin says, JG, are you working out and walking a few miles a day? Yes. Yes, I am. Trying to lose weight.
Hmm.
It's hard to lose weight. The worst part, I'm trying to get under 200 pounds. I'm right at that 200-pound mark. And every time I get close, my buddies and I go out for a couple of beers, and then I get that beer belly again. And then I'm back up to 205. And then it's like, oh, I got to go back, get down to, once I get under 200, then the floodgates will open and I'll
Oh
start
yeah.
shedding off the weight. But yeah, I try to get 10,000 steps in a day, try to do some exercise. But I broke my fingers. So
Mm.
I can't grip any weights really. So that's been kind of an issue. I kind of messed up my shoulder a few months ago, so I couldn't lift. But
Mm.
it's okay now. It kind of heals. I'm kind of a self healer, so it kind of healed itself. So I can do
My
push-ups
weakness is
now. And
carbs and sugar. Carbs and sugar are my weakness. And food is cheap here, man. It's hard to get away from that. In USA, at least the prices are a little higher and it kind of keeps you away stuff. But when you walk out here, you get street food and it's loaded with carbs and sugar.
right,
And
yeah.
it's
If you're eating
10,000,
banh
so
mi
it's like 30
sandwiches,
cents.
you're eating banh mi, and it's all bread, so
And
you're
it's
loading up
cheap.
on the
And it's
carbs,
cheap. And it's cheap. So
and
that's
it's
the other
cheap,
part about
20
it.
baht, 25 baht, yeah, or 25 dong. Wasn't there a Vietnamese banker given the death penalty for fraud a few months ago? A pyramid scheme, I think. I haven't heard that. Have you
Yeah,
heard
it was
that?
in the news. It was like a
Wow.
lady that embezzled billions. I think they just overturned it. I don't think she got the death penalty. I think they
Wow.
reversed it and she's getting life in prison, but it was something to do with some real estate scam. The headline was all over, but I didn't get enough information. But it was like she embezzled billions of dollars or something.
Yeah, and that was a local, right? That was a
Yeah.
Vietnamese woman, right? Yeah, you
Hmm.
don't mess with the law in countries that you don't live in.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to pay the price. Will, is it better to live on beachside or city side? I know a new Marriott with amazing rooftop was built on the city side. Yeah, the Marriott's beautiful there.
I have
But
a
what do you
simple
say?
answer. This is one of the best beach cities in the world. So it kind of is defeats the point to come to the best beach city in the world to not live here, especially in
Yeah,
walking distance. And you really now you will save some money going to the city side, but when you break it down, you might save $80 to $100 for a month. And if you divide that by 30 days, you're only saving $2 or $3 a day. And most likely, what's going to happen is you're going to end up commuting back down here to the beach. And if you spend
right.
$2 or $3 a day on transportation, it's almost the same amount of money. I'd rather live here and commute over there occasionally to the riverside than to live on the riverside and commute constantly back over here. That's my take on it.
That's kind of how that's how I'm feeling right now here where I'm at. I'm in the southern part of Bangkok, and I'm saving a lot of money on rent, but 3 times a week, I'm taking the train up to Prampong or Asok area, and that adds up. Even though it's cheap to ride the trains, it still adds up. I'm probably putting, you know, a couple of thousand baht a month in on my Rabbit
Hmm.
card. That's $50-$60.
Not just
And
money, but you're spending time commuting too.
yeah, in time. Um, but I got all the time in the world. So.
Yeah.
But that adds up. And if he's like, okay, $60, add $60 to my, or 2 or 3 thousand baht a month to my rent, I can get a nice condo, maybe a
Yep.
little extra money in those areas, Prompong
Yep.
or Asok or, Ekan Mai or Tonglo or wherever. And it comes out basically the same, but I'm close. and I don't have to worry about
Yep.
taking the train for 30, 35 minutes to get where I want to go. I can just walk outdoors. But on the other side, it's like now it's too convenient. And I might be going to the bars every night instead of just once a week.
Blowing the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blowing the budget. So I got to be careful with that. So I always preach, live like you live there. Don't live like you're on vacation, because if you
Yeah.
live like you're on holiday, then you're going to blow through your budget real quick. And so I got to be careful. I got to follow my own advice. Carb sugar is so hard to get away from, so addictive. Agreed, Will. Yeah, especially in the Philippines. That's all they've got.
Mm.
Carbs, sugar, grease, and
Deep
salt.
fried. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is deep fried there. Um, Phoenix says, I would disagree with you on Vung Tau. Huge expat presence there with restaurants and bars. Agreed, though locals outside that tourist expat area rarely speak English. I spend about a month there every year. Well, I was there 3 years ago, and we actually left early. We left our
Mm.
hotel 2 days early because we were bored. Beautiful beach, though. I love the beach, and a lot of Russians there when I was there, and that was
Mm.
before the war started. I was in
Wow.
2022, I think. But yeah, a lot of Russian-owned restaurants in that too. So it's a neat area. It's really neat, but a little quiet. Um, Eddie says, has your quality of life improved since moving abroad? If so, in what ways has it gotten better compared to living in the U.S.? It's hard for me, and I'll let you answer too, Will, but it's hard for me to compare because I was making a good income living in the U.S., but at the same time, the cost of living was more. Now living here, I'm making less money in retirement, but the cost of living is a lot lower. So I would say it's about equal, but I don't have to work. So the stress levels are down.
Mm.
So that helped my health. I mean, I got to a point where I was sick. I was always getting sick. I caught COVID twice while I was working because I was so stressed out. I broke out in hives at one point. I mean, it
Mm.
got bad. My stress levels were so high because the job I had to hit goals and quotas and that sort of thing, and it was really tough. And so just the stress in itself, and if I was still back in the U.S., I'd still be working, hopefully working. I would have to because I couldn't live on my retirement income in the U.S. like I can here. So that's
Yep.
my answer.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I definitely just by picking myself up out of the USA and dropping myself here, almost all aspects of my life. We go out to dinner almost every single night here. There's no way possible in the USA that I would be able to go out to sit down restaurants in the USA 7 nights a week. That wouldn't just happen. I live in a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom condo here that's literally on the beach. I have an amazing view. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but that is the city. See if that'll come in, but that's the city out there. I see the Dragon Bridge, and then the beach is right behind me. Like there would be no way that I'd live at a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, go out to dinner every single night at sit down restaurants. And I live here with my girlfriend. The whole budget, monthly budget here is about $750 a month, little under $800 for most months. For $800, I couldn't even get a Motel 6 for 4 or 5 days a week out there. Now, the only thing I would probably say that I wouldn't say downgraded, but convenient stuff is a little bit different. Sometimes, like if you wanted to order stuff on Amazon or stuff like that, it's a little more inconvenient out here. I do miss some foods, Mexican food, good pizza, stuff like that. And I do miss driving a car. So there is a few things that I traded off, but in the overall kind of big picture, everything pretty much, I would say 80 to 90% of my stuff improved. And here I I can live here, do my YouTube channel, and almost basically break even. Back there, I would have been having to work for the man and kind of deal with the stress and say, oh man, I hate going to see my manager today, or I hate dealing with this coworker. So the
Right.
stress part is definitely a big thing. Stress is a big killer, man. Stress will really wear you down.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, including the food. Sometimes it's hard to find the kind of food you're used to in the
Yeah.
West. The pizzas. I'm still looking for that perfect pizza, that Western style pizza. Um, Kiki says the property in Ireland is in Sligo, overlooking a beach. Got a good deal during the financial crash of 2009. That's close to Northern Ireland, right? It's kind of in the middle, and it's kind of out, and there's nothing really close to it, right? As far as major cities. Kimmy says, "Hey guys, love that you are collaborating. JJ, we thinking about going to Bangkok end of next month. Don't want to stay in the busy area. Is there an area you would recommend? I would say Ekamai on Sukhumvit, Ekamai, on Newt, um, uh, Prakanong, those areas right there. You're going to find probably a little cheaper places to stay, and you're right on you're close to the Sukhumvit Green Line, the BTS, so it's real convenient to get to the heavy areas, the busy areas if you want. So that's what I would recommend, looking around those areas. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Diane. It's a girl fest.
Party.
How you doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you guys
Kim's out
know
here
if
in Danong as well.
Do you guys know if there are bike trails there to ride? Are you talking bicycle or motorcycle? I don't know. I don't ride bikes. I'm sure there are in Bangkok. Bangkok's huge, so I'm sure there are something. I think you could ride the bike on the boardwalk there in Da Nang, right? You can ride your bicycle up and down there, right?
Yeah, and I know two guys that have a bike. They have the Lance Armstrong style bike, and so apparently they ride somewhere here. I don't know where it is, but they do definitely ride somewhere here.
I think you can. I don't know, but I think you can ride along that, and that's a long boardwalk.
Oh
that
yeah.
That beach area expands
miles
forever.
and miles. Yep.
Yeah,
you can go all the way down to Hoi An down that way.
Yeah, that's a good 40 minute drive. Let's see. The beach life seems great, but do people actually go swimming? Is the water free from pollution? Yeah, it's clean. It's actually, you can actually surf. You get, I mean, you're not going to get big Sur type waves, but you can get some pretty decent waves. So if you're a beginner to intermediate surfer, you can surf or boogie board there with no problem, and it's really nice. So yeah, there's a lot of people that get in the ocean. The beach is beautiful, white sand. It's clean. They clean it every day. That's what the Philippines need to learn from Da Nang. They clean their beaches, man. But they clean it every day. They replant the trees that blew over the winter. They replant those every spring. So yeah, it's a beautiful beach, right?
Yep, it's very nice.
My realtor in Ireland is putting it to public auction. Okay. Hopefully you'll get a good price. Vung Tau is pretty quiet, about equal to Hua Hin probably. Yeah, but I don't think there's in Hua Hin, you got some of that adult area. I don't think Vung Tau has that I'm aware of. I was only there once. And like I said, beautiful but quiet. Have you been there, Will?
No, we're going to try to get down there when we do a southern trip, but they keep telling us to go there in Canto. Like what we do, we kind of take the Vietnam Railways train, and we either go in one direction. We either go up north, is when we go to Hue. We'll go to a city that we just discovered called Dong Hoi, which has a lot of potential, but I don't know what it's going to work out to be. And we want to make our way all the way up to Vinh to Hanoi. And then when we go the other way, we work our way down south. We go to a really underrated sleeper city called Wien Yon, which I believe is kind of like the Da Nang of 10 years ago. And then we go down all the way to Nha Trang. And then we're going to make our way to Vung Tau, Ho Chi Minh, and Canto. We're going to do that probably this upcoming year.
Oh, nice. That's a big list. Keep talking. I'm looking for pictures of Vung Tau.
Yeah. Yeah. So we take the train. I don't really want to be on a train for more than 4 or 5 hours. So what we do, because people say like, oh man, that's a long ways. But what we do is we'll stop like in Hue and we'll stay there for 2 or 3 days. And then we'll jump back on the Vietnam Railway train. And then we'll go to the next city, check it out for 2 or 3 days. And then usually after about a 7 or 8 day trip, we'll make our way back down to Da Nang. And then maybe the next month or 2 months down the road, we'll head the other direction. We'll go check out these other cities that we either really like a lot or the cities that we missed. And you could do it all up and down the coast. And it's very cheap. The trains are nice. The prices are extremely cheap. I think one of the times that we went to Hue used to be the whole old capital of Vietnam. And I think our one-way ticket was like $3, like $3 to go up and down the Vietnam coast to see the beach, AC in the train, reclining seats. Like it's definitely worth it. If you guys have time in Vietnam, check out Vietnam Railways and check out some of these cities that people recommend. I would definitely check that out if you guys come out here.
All right, that's Vung Tau from the hill where we stayed. That's the beach. Pretty
It seems
nice.
more like a province type of city, but I think that's the city that people told me a lot of people from Ho Chi Minh, the locals, come up to the beach. I think that's the city that people tell me that's kind of their beach city.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's beautiful. I never had a problem with the beauty of it and any of that, but yeah, it was just a little too quiet for me. Here's another picture that looks really neat. Hang on just a second. Let me share this again.
And I'm kind of like the guy that I'm not a province guy. I don't need the biggest city in the world, but I don't really want the provinces, because what I notice, especially in the Philippines provinces are cheaper, yes, but you run into a lot of problems. You run into the worst internet. You run into the issues of lack of Western amenities. So yes, it's cheaper, but you give up so much stuff. You give up so much stuff to live.
Transportation issues.
Transportation.
Like Dumaguete, they have no Grab, no taxis there. They only have the little tiny trikes, where if you're a tall guy like me, you're crooking your neck just to fit in, and that's no fun. But look at that view. Vung Tau I might go back there again. I might give it another try. Why not? Maybe I was too harsh. But yeah, it's beautiful. I do like it.
Yeah, but it's like those like when I say Western amenities, I include things like malls. Like even though we don't go to the mall too much, it's just a great thing to have, because for one, if you need to go grab something, or you want to go bowling, or you want to go do this, you have that. And also with the Western amenities, you do get the city kind of, I don't want to say caters towards Westerners, but when they have Western amenities, it kind of brings in other things, and it makes it a much more livable city, especially for a traveler.
All right, Kevin Venture says, off the wall question, I'm a lead guitarist. Have you guys ever heard any good local rock bands there? Bangkok has a fantastic local music scene. I mean, there are so many bars that have great bands. In fact, you're in the Philippines, Kevin. There's a lot of really good Philippine bands and musicians and singers that come to Bangkok to work, because better venues pays better. And I check out my latest short. It was a band on the rooftop of O'Shea's Irish pub on Prompong, Sukhumvit 33/1. Went up there Friday night, and they played. The band's called Chocolate Cosmos, and they play a lot of 90s and early 2000s music, the pop and rock type music. And they were really, really good. And check out my short, because I did a quick short of them. But their guitarist is fantastic. He is excellent. Probably one of the better local guitarists I've heard. But yeah, they've in Bangkok, great music scene. I don't know about Da Nang.
I know there's a little bit. I don't really get out to it, but I do know you'll see on Facebook there's some spots, but I don't know how popular or big it is.
Oh yes, very close to Northern Ireland. Yeah. Okay. I thought it might have been. Thanks for the tops or the tips. Tips. There you go. Jay says Thai versus Vietnam food, which is better? Any stomach issues prevalent coming from a Western diet? I'll go first. Thai food here, Vietnam food here, Philippine food way down here. I just like the spiciness and the
Mm.
variety of Thai food. Vietnamese food is good, but to me, it's just a little bland for what I like. I like more spice. You can get some of that in Vietnam, but not like you can in Thailand. Now
Yeah.
you can overdo it in Thailand. You can do too much of the spice, and then it'll affect you. And I that's happened to me a couple of times where I've had to lay off the spicy food for a couple of days until it's out of my system, so to speak. What do you like? What's your favorite?
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably agree on that end. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Thailand food, and it's basically because of the different layers. Like I said, you can get great food from every level. That's what kind of separates Thailand, or at least bumps it up over Vietnam, is that you can get the 7-Eleven food all the way up to the luxury food, to the street food, to the mall food. Every category of food, I think, puts Thailand over Vietnam. I like Vietnam food a lot. I love Bonet. I love a lot of stuff here, but I give a slight edge to Thailand's food because you can go get good food in a 7-Eleven, which we lack here. You can go get good food in a mall at the Terminal 21 food court. You can get good food at street food in Thailand. Like I said, here street food is mostly banh mi's and soup. So I do give a slight edge to Thailand food when you factor in every level of the food.
Yeah. Eddie says, hey, if you enjoy cycling, check out the Happy and Healthy Bike Lane in Bangkok near Suvarnabhumi Airport. It's a great spot with 23.5 kilometer loop and awesome
Mm,
facilities. Nice. There you go. There's your
mm,
bike path there in Bangkok. Good tip, Eddie. Do condos in Thailand and Da Nang open to having small dogs? Some of them don't. Like my condo here, they don't allow pets. You just
mm.
have to look. But there's some that do. Not, I don't think there's a lot though in Bangkok. Most of the condos don't allow pets, but I think if you look, maybe some of the older ones probably
Mm.
do. But you just have to look around. Vung Tau has the girl bars. Okay, not sure if you mentioned you might visit
Weenyon,
Wei Hon,
Weenyon, Weenyon. That's
Wignon.
where we've been there twice, and we're probably going back there next month. That's what I said. That city is basically Da Nang without the Western amenities. So I like that city actually. I don't know if I could live there long term, but it's a great spot for 3 to 7 days. It's a very nice spot.
Okay. Let's see. Ho Chi Minh locals flood it on weekends. Flood. Oh, Wignon. Okay.
No, I think they're talking about Vung Tau. That's what I also
Vung
hear,
Tau.
that
Okay.
all the Ho Chi Minh locals go up to the beach city of Vung Tau. That's what I've heard.
Vung Tau is south of Saigon, southeast of Saigon. It's on the ocean there. I'm not sure about the other place. Where's that at?
Guignon is just a little south of Da Nang. It's about a 4 hour south train ride from Da Nang. So basically, Da Nang is here, Nha Trang is here. Guignon is the middle point between Da Nang and Nha Trang. It's literally the middle point.
What brings you the most joy from the culture of Thai and Vietnamese people? Will?
I just think, just I love. So I've been to, like I said, 20 countries in the world. Every country, I love certain aspects about it, and I've always met good people. I don't really find this like a huge difference in people across the world. Um, Everybody's been nice. Everybody's been welcoming. Even if there's a language barrier, I find that I just find people to be overall nice in any country I've been to. So nothing really distinguishable. Everyone's friendly in all the countries. They're nice, they're helpful. So I just kind of think it's universal throughout the world for me.
Yeah, I think what brings me the most joy, I could quote. I'm thinking of Robert De Niro when he played Al Capone in
Mm.
The Untouchables. What is that which brings me joy? Baseball. No, but seriously, I'm weird that way. I always everything I think of is movie related or
Movies.
music related. So that's my weirdness. Just the culture, the Thai people, the Vietnamese people, they're so friendly. Um, I like the fact that you can, you go to someone and you do the Y in Thailand, you do the Y and you say Sawadee Kap, and they'll
Mm.
smile and say Sawadee Ka back to you. Um, and it's and the beauty of the people. The Thai women and the Vietnamese women are some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in the world. Um, so that is what brings me joy. just
Hmm.
just seeing the beautiful culture. The food is amazing. The temples are um, out of this world. They're so neat. Just the Buddhist culture in itself just is just kind of a really neat culture to the religion to just to understand a little bit. Let's see, in Vung Tau, how much would a hotel room cost you? So this was back, and I went back in May of 2023 is when I was there. So I couldn't tell you what they are now. I'll bet it's cheap. It's in Vietnam, so it's probably
Yep.
cheap. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the cost. If you go back to Vung Tau, stay at Front Beach. Expats, bars, and restaurants and other amenities will be around there. Okay, cool. I will keep that in mind. QQ, with the border issues with Thailand and Cambodia, has there been any impact on Bangkok? None, zero impact. It's all isolated on those border areas there. There's been no issues with Bangkok, no issues in Chiang Mai. None of the tourist areas are affected, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't think it's going to escalate any farther than just a skirmish here and there. Are there any cooler spots in Thailand similar to like Dalat in Vietnam? I've never been to Dalat, so what's Dalat like?
Dalat is kind of a mountain area. That's where everybody likes to go because it's a cooler area. There's basically two cool areas that people like to travel in Vietnam. Dalat is one, and that's more southern, going towards Nha Trang-ish, going south. And then there's another city called Sapa, which I think it actually snows there at certain times. Those are the two cooler cities that people talk about. But I know some people that really like the city of Dalat. So those are the cooler
So
spots in there in Vietnam.
So maybe something similar in Thailand would be Chiang Mai or Chiang
Mhm.
Rai because you're a
I like
little
Chiang Rai.
higher in elevation, and yeah, so it's probably a little cooler there, and at some times of the year. So I would say Chiang Mai or maybe Chiang Rai. The game is sold out there. Will be 90,000 in attendance. What game?
Hmm.
What game are we talking about here? Did I miss something? What place would you live outside of Bangkok? Probably Chiang Mai or Hua Hin of the places I've been to. Probably one of those two places. Pattaya is cheap, and you can get some really nice condos or apartments there, but it's just a little too heavy on the adult entertainment side for me. I'm not really into that so much. So it could be a death trap for you if you're not careful. YouTube user says, great content, guys. More collaboration is a good thing. It gives great comparisons between the two areas. Yeah, next Sunday I'll be doing my live from Da Nang. So I'll probably pick a coffee shop somewhere, one of my favorite coffee shops to hang out at. I'll probably do my live there. Have you tried Thai kickboxing? God, no. I would like to, but I would probably snap a femur the first time I tried to kick. I'm a little too
not
old for
someone,
that
not
now.
someone else's, not someone else's,
Not
but
someone
your own, I
else's, my
think.
own. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate the word cheap. Economical is better. Well, okay, yeah.
I like to
Inexpensive.
use
Let's say that.
people call me out on that too, but I kind of, I have the word in my head and I always forget to use it, but I like the word budget conscious or value conscious. So
Yeah,
everything's
inexpensive. Let's
politically
say
correct
inexpensive.
now.
Yeah, well, yeah. Probably another military coup d'etat coming in Thailand soon. I thought maybe there would be, but I think I think it's probably going to settle down. I don't think the prime minister's coming back. They removed her, they suspended her,
Mm.
and I don't think she's going to be reinstated. So I think I don't think there'll be a coup. I think it'll just somebody will take over. That's my guess. It's my best guess, but I really don't know. I explained it. It was 2014 was the last military coup. So it happens about every 10 years here, and
Mm.
usually nothing goes on. The expats, the population, you really don't see anything. From what I understand, there's no effect. It's just
Mm.
kind of it's just kind of business as usual. Explained it in a previous comment. Okay, sorry, I must have missed it. During the rainy season, which areas are best to stay in to avoid flooding or minimize its impact? I'm planning a trip and want to choose a safer location. Are you talking about Thailand or Vietnam, Eddie? Jugsy says it's clearly not a DOB. DOB, DOB. I don't know what that is.
Hmm.
I'm naive when it comes to that, I guess. The comment may not have appeared. Okay. I don't have a monitor. What do they call those guys that monitor your channel for you?
Moderator.
Moderator. I don't have a
Yeah.
moderator. I'm too cheap, I guess. Is it easier dating Thai or Vietnam women? I would say it's pretty close. If I were to, of the places I've been, Philippines by far is the easiest to date, the largest age gap relationship, then probably Thailand, and then Vietnam. Um, Thailand and Vietnam, they both want to make sure you're living there before they commit to a second date, even.
Mm.
They're very traditional. And you would think that, Philippine women must be traditional because it's a Christian Catholic country. Not so much. I mean, they are very Christian, they are very Catholic, but their traditions only go so far. It
Mm.
seems like. But the Buddhist tradition, the Thai and the Vietnamese tradition, they're very serious about that, and they're very conscious of how their family feels. What their family thinks about who they're dating. Um, I know, Will, you got a girl there. You brought sand to the beach, so you don't
Mm.
have to worry about it. But yeah, it's hard to get that second and third date if you're not actually living in those countries. Oh,
Uh,
DOB, dirty old bastard. Okay, clearly not a dirty old bastard. Oh no, not me. I can be at times, but no, normally I'm pretty good, pretty sane. I'm planning a trip to Thailand and Vietnam during the rainy season. Could you recommend areas to stay that are least affected by flooding? I like to avoid major disruptions if possible. Well, Da Nang doesn't really flood that much, does it, when it
there's always
rains?
chance of it, but like I said, I've been here 23, 24, and 25, and I've never experienced this, never hit here. Now, there was a little bit of flooding, like in certain parts, but it was like very minimal. Um, but the thing about Vietnam is it's one country, obviously, but like Nha Trang's weather is good when Da Nang's weather is bad. When Ho Chi
Oh,
Minh's
you have
rainy
different
season is,
seasons,
so you could kind of go up and down. You can like go to Hanoi during this time. You can come to Da Nang during this time. So they all have different like rainy seasons. So it's
right?
easy to avoid that.
I know in Hoi An, those streets flood pretty good when it rains.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
hear the
it's
same thing.
but it'll flood, but then when it stops raining, it'll clean out pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how it is in Bangkok. You just have to kind of have to, if it's going to rain, get in somewhere and hang out at a restaurant or a bar or a coffee shop for a couple hours,
Yeah.
and it'll stop raining. Usually only rains for a couple hours, then it quits, and then another hour after that, the streets are pretty clear. So it's really not that bad. Dating in the West is pretty bad. Yeah, it was bad when I was there. Was referring to your Pattaya nightlife comment. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Now I got friends. Now I'll take friends to those places, those adult places. Like I'll take them to Nana Plaza. Like when Geo comes, I'll hit I'll hit Soy Cowboy, Nana Plaza, and Soy 7 or 11 or 13. All those areas. I'll show them all those areas, but I generally don't go there, and I never go there on my own. It's always like if I'm with a bunch of people, it's like, hey, let's go there tonight. So yeah, okay. Dating the West is insufferable. Oh, it went from bad to insufferable.
Just getting worse.
Yeah. Gents, have you ever had to go to the doctors in Thailand or Vietnam? If so, what was your experience? I have never. I had to go get my fingers looked at when I broke my fingers. That was in the Philippines. But I've never had to go to Thailand or Vietnam. I went to the pharmacy in Vietnam, and they prescribed me medicine for my bronchitis. But I never went to a doctor. So the pharmacies are really good in Vietnam. They'll diagnose you. The pharmacist will check you out. They'll diagnose you. They'll prescribe whatever they need to prescribe, and they do a pretty good job. So if you just have your minor illnesses, they can take care of you without having to go to a doctor. It's all pretty cheap.
Pharmacies are on every block. They're on every single block now.
Oh yeah. Have you ever had to go to a doctor or anything? Hospital?
No, I haven't. But we do have two YouTubers out here that did videos on them. I think they both had to have like emergency surgery, and they really talked about how shockingly cheap it was, or affordable, if you guys want to call it that, and that it was good. So they both did videos on it, and I think both of them had like emergency surgery, and I think they stayed at the hospital for a few days, and it was like ambulance, hospital stay, medication, all that stuff was like $900 or $1,200 for like all the stuff. So I think they were pretty happy with it.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard. Now in the Philippines, if you're in the deep provinces, the province towns, that could be an issue as far as healthcare. But if you're in like Makati or BGC, you've got St. Luke's Hospital there, and it's fantastic healthcare, and it's relatively inexpensive. I almost said cheap, relatively inexpensive. Bangkok's got great hospitals, both private and public, and it's relatively inexpensive. So yeah, you're gonna pay a lot less over here than you would in the West. I'll tell you that right now. Really appreciate your time and energy on the stream. Have a good day. You too, Eddie. Appreciate you coming on. Hit that like button before you leave if you haven't yet. Jay says, Travis broke his cheekbone and cost him like $1,100 for 4 days. Cheekbone. Was he in a motorcycle accident, or
no?
Did he get crushed by some Muay Thai boxer?
I think he was doing rugby. I think he plays rugby, and I think he got hurt doing that. I think that's one of the videos that I seen. I think that's when he got hurt. And the funny thing was, like he said at the end of the video, like I guess like when you go to a hospital stay, they give you milk and juice every day. And I think the big funny part was like when he left, they had a whole bag and it was filled with his milk, and they're like, no, you got to take it. You paid for it. So it was like, oh, you have to take this. So like they gave him everything, and he was still kind of shocked. Like they literally gave him all the stuff, and he was talking about how it was very affordable. So I heard good stuff about here.
Yeah, $1,100 for everything. Right?
Everything. That's what it said.
Hospital stay, the surgery. Did he have to have surgery, or what?
He had to have a surgery.
How do they fix a broken cheekbone?
I don't remember, but there was some kind of emergency surgery. He stayed there for a few days, I think. And I believe it was an ambulance too. So like it was like the trifecta of everything. And it was very cheap because most people that I know here, no one pays for health insurance. They kind of wait till something happens and then pay out of pocket. I've never ran into anyone that says like, oh yeah, I pay Vietnam health insurance every month. So everyone kind of just waits and pays when something happens.
Yeah, I usually pay for the little things out of pocket, but I've got the catastrophic insurance in case something major happens, or if I have to emergency fly back to the U.S., I've got that covered. So, I stay away from any activity that I could get hurt in. I broke my fingers walking. So if that tells you anything, it's like there's no way I'm going to ride a bike on a regular basis or do Muay Thai or rugby or anything like that. I mean, if I break my fingers walking, Of course, it was in the Philippines. You know how the sidewalks are in the
Uh,
Philippines. They're bad. They're
I got
the
hurt in the
worst.
Philippines too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I guess no parasailing for you then.
no. Well, I don't swim either, so I can't
Mm.
swim. So let's see. Yeah, true. I noticed the same thing in Thailand with with the pharmacist. Oh yeah, they'll take care of you. The thing with the pharmacists in Vietnam though is they'll overdo it.
Mm.
You go in there, it's like I need some allergy medicine, and before you know it, you're
You
paying
have
for
7 of
six
them.
items. So
Yeah.
you got to tell them I only need this. I don't need this. I don't need the nasal spray. I don't need this. So you got to be able to tell them enough is enough because
Mm.
they'll load you up on all this stuff. So let me see. Have you ever heard of Ping Pong Ball Show in Patong and BKK? A similar area to Cowboy and Nana. Have to be careful with the wording. Yeah, I've heard of the ping pong shows. I've never done them, never gone there because you do have to be careful because they will rip you off. A lot of times they'll say it's one price, and once you get in,
Hmm.
you got to buy a drink, and then before you know it, the drink costs 2,000 baht instead of
Huh.
200 baht, and they won't let you leave, and they'll try to
Mm.
strong arm you into paying. So I just avoid all those areas if I can, and I don't do the drinks or anything like that. So yeah, rugby. Rugby's tough. I love rugby. I love Six Nations rugby. I'm a big Ireland fan of Six Nations. So Southeast Asia won't bankrupt you for medical. That is a very strong motivation to move over there for sure. It scares me here in the US. Yeah, you just never know. Anywhere in the West, actually. Even
Yeah.
the quote unquote free medical, like in Canada or the UK, it's still, I mean, you're paying taxes for it, right? And to get in, there's a huge waiting line. You just can't walk into somewhere and
And go
get
in.
taken care of. Yeah. So I've heard good and
12-year
bad
wait.
about it. 12-year wait. Yeah, right. But I have cancer. That's okay.
Hopefully you make it 12 years.
Yeah, right. All right. Let's see what time we got here. 11:21. We've been on a little over 2 hours and 20 minutes. We'll stay going. We got 26 still on, so that's good. We've had 187 watching, and right now we're at 27. Looking at my stats here, so yeah, we're good. We'll stay on a little longer. Thanks for the great collab. I hope success for both of your channels. It's almost 12:30 a.m. here in Michigan. Thanks, guys.
Mm.
Yeah, thanks, Jace, for tuning in. Hopefully, when I'm in Da Nang, I'll hit that 16,000 subscriber.
Yep.
That would be neat to hit it there, and maybe I'll do a meet and greet.
Yeah, do a meet and greet.
I don't think I've got the viewers there that you have, so but I'll bring your guys along. So
yeah.
we'll go.
Post
We'll
it
go
on there,
another.
man. People will show up. There was a good amount of first time people that showed up to this one because that was the second meetup that we had. We had one back in January and we had this one, and the majority of them were first timers. So a lot of people showed up for the first time. So that was good.
Neat, awesome. I love that. I love meeting subscribers. That's one of the fun parts about having a YouTube channel is getting to meet those people. It's very humbling in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
so I like it.
It's crazy because I get recognized out here, and I'm like, you guys are talking to me. Like, wait a second, like, what do you guys? And they're like, yeah, we watch you. We traveled 7,000. I'm like, for me? And they're like, yeah. So it's kind of it's weird.
That's how it was when I was in BGC. I got recognized at least a couple of times a week, and it was really neat. Not so much here in Bangkok because I'm fairly new here still. Don't have a lot of Bangkok or Thai subscribers, and the fact that it's such a huge city.
Huge.
But I've been recognized a couple of times, but not very often here. But BGC was such a small area. But that was kind of neat. But there's a lot of YouTubers in Da Nang now, a lot more than there were when I was there last time. So I know Evan. You've talked to Evan, right?
Yeah, we do videos together. So
Yeah,
we've done about
he
4
he
videos together.
he wants to collab with me when I get
Very
there,
nice.
so I think we'll
Yeah.
probably meet up. I haven't met him yet, but he's got
Yeah, he's a
a
good
channel
guy.
that's growing pretty quick. Yeah, yeah, he seems
We
like a good.
started doing videos about 3 months ago, and he had 12,000 subscribers at the time. And when we
Hmm.
just met up and did our last video, he's over 20,000. I think he's grown like
Wow,
almost doubled his channel in the past few months. But
that's
um,
crazy. Yeah, good
we
for
do
him.
man, his channel is really growing. We do a video together usually about once a month. So we're overdue. We keep saying that we're going to meet up hopefully this month to do
Yeah,
another video. But yeah, his channel is definitely growing.
I don't think I don't know if I don't know that I'm subscribed to him or not. I'll have to check, see if I'm subscribed to him. If I'm
He's got
not, I'll
2
have to
channels
subscribe.
now. He's got his
Oh, he
podcast
does.
channel and his regular channel. Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
he's double dutying it.
So what's the difference between his two channels?
I think the one is more his podcast is more of like a sit down with like an interview style channel. And then his
Uh-huh.
other channel is mostly about like traveling Southeast Asia, retirements, like where the best cities are and stuff like that. It's more of a broad channel. And the other one's called, I think it's called the cost of living abroad retirement.
Oh, okay.
And it's more of a
Cool.
sit down interview channel.
Awesome. Edwin says, you guys are rocking the vlog. Great content. Well, thanks, Evan. Appreciate it. Kiki and Jasmine, there doesn't seem to be any drama with Thailand, Vietnam YouTubers compared to the Philippines. Exactly. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to leave the Philippines, because some of these YouTubers there are just too much drama. Now I see a little bit of that in Thailand, mainly in the Pattaya area, but not nearly the amount as you saw in the Philippines. They were just crazy in the Philippines. Whatever happened to Eli, the bike guy, Danang vlogger? Never heard of him. Don't know him.
I've heard people mention him. Apparently, like some of my viewers know him, but I don't. But supposedly he was like a bigger channel out here, but it was before my time. But I do hear like my subscribers talk about him, but I don't know much about him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know him at all. Never heard of him. But that doesn't mean he's not successful, because I
think he quit. He was like a guy that I think did a little bit of biking stuff, like pedal bikes, and I think they said something that he used to talk about stocks and stuff. So I think he was big for a few years or something, but I think his channel doesn't exist anymore. At least that's what I was told.
Okay, all right. We'll go another couple minutes. See if anybody else jumps on. A lot of times I get some late people coming on late. I've thought maybe starting my stream an hour later to see what happens. But I start at 9:00. It's 9:00 Thai time and Vietnam time, but it's 10 a.m. in the Philippines, and it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So if I start any later, it would be probably too late on the East Coast and even the Midwest. So I want to make sure I get those viewers in the West there some time to watch. But
the time difference is a big thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. Chugsy says, thanks. Yep, that's him. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap things up. Will, I super appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out for
I appreciate you having me.
2.5 hours. Yeah. Hopefully it'll help both our channels,
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And we'll get together again when I'm there. I'm there for 3.5 weeks. So we'll definitely get together and hang out. And I told you I owe you and Fluffy dinner at Tintin.
Or Kin-Kin.
Is it
Kin-Kin?
Kin-Kin. Yeah, Kin-Kin. Yeah, I owe you dinner. So I'll buy you guys some pad thai or something.
Yeah.
Or krapao. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go to the Vietnamese way, we can do that too.
Yeah, whatever you got,
Get some pho or some what's the thing you like?
I like the bonnet. Apparently,
bonnet.
Bonnet wasn't very famous, and now I'm starting to see a lot of these vloggers start talking about bonnet. I'm like, wait a second,
really?
No one used to talk about this. So
it's kind of like
famous out here.
It's kind of like bonnet is kind of like the Denny's skillet.
Mm. It
It's
comes
kind of
on a
like that.
fajita platter. Basically,
Yeah.
the simplest way to describe it, it's Vietnamese steak and eggs. It's a
Yeah.
breakfast
It's kind of
dish.
like a skillet, like the Denny's skillet where you got everything on one hot plate. And yeah, it's pretty good actually. I ate there. I ate one time at a place down on Thuong. That was pretty good.
Yep,
So
I love it.
let's see. Phoenix says, "Thanks, boys. You get to Pattaya, let me know." I will. I was going to go this past week, but I had a couple of friends from BGC that were going to come visit me, but one of them had a medical thing. He had to fly back to Guam for that, and the other one is from China, and he's just going to wait. So maybe when I get back, I'll get to Pattaya and I'll look you up, Phoenix. Good stream, boys. Thanks, Chugsy. Kiki and Jasmine, great discussion. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. See you guys. See you, Edwin. Tony Walkabout had the steak and eggs in Saigon, was great. Tony, are you Australian? Just throwing that out there with the walkabout thing. Kiki subbed. Okay. Oh, Kiki subbed to your channel, Will.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, thanks for being a member, Kiki. Appreciate that. And I just started a membership. I've got 3 members right now. So if you want to be a member, it's like 99 cents a month. And I post videos on there right now. And once I get growing and a little bigger, I'll do other things. But I got videos there that'll post before they go to the general public. So nice. Yeah, good day. Yeah, I figured you were Aussie. Yeah. Where in Australia from, Tony? I got a buddy, a college mate of mine from Perth. We went to college together. We're good friends. And then there's another vlogger, Travels with Maz. She's from, one of the major cities. I can't think where she's from, but she's Asian Australian. So she's pretty cool. But yeah. All right. We're going to call it for the night or for the day. I need to eat. I'm starving. And Will, you're going to do a live tonight?
Yeah, tonight I'll probably do a live. I'm going to go to Mega Market tomorrow. So if you guys want to see the Costco of Vietnam, we will do probably a live stream there. And I do have a uploaded video that's posted to publish tonight. We went to the thrift store. So if you guys want to see what a thrift store in Vietnam is like, watch tonight. That'll come out at 6 p.m. Vietnam time. And then we usually do a lot of live streams. We go out, we go to dinner, and I just turn on the camera. So if you guys enjoy live streams, we do a lot of them.
Okay. Tony's on the riverside in Da Nang. So Tony, I'll see you when I get there. Maybe we can hook up and grab a beer or something if you're into it. You're Australian, right? I'm Irish. So what could be better than sharing a couple of beers, right? Well, I'll meet you at Chevy's. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, Will. Appreciate you coming on. And,
thank you.
Thanks for everybody for hanging out. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. And next time we talk, I'll be in Da Nang. And as always, live life, my friend. And we'll talk to you again. Take care. Bye-bye.